I'll keep going till my feet become blown. I'll keep going till my feet become blown. I'll keep going till my feet become blown. I'll keep going till my till my speaker calm. I'll keep going till my speaker calm low. 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 Till my speaker calm. I'll keep going till my speaker calm low. I'll keep going till my speaker calm low. I'll keep going till my speaker calm low. I'll keep going till my speaker calm low.
Sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been tested so much, all these restless nights, all these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a Benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of on my feet when I touch the ground. Front of ain't in Beijing, man, ain't know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. I'm faced with a lot of different choices these days. Do a rock and roll, Lex account a blue face. The whole world know my name off a mixtape. I still got the same brothers since 6th grade. G-Wagon, red seats, we on Biscayne. Trips to the Florida Keys, we imported these. Thanking God for the life he afforded me. All this jewelry on my body, I could like the hood. I need a brown skinned chick just like Megan Good. Holding up every promise that I ever made. Music in the background, it's a serenade. Been rapping 10 years, boy, this ain't a phase. I paid dues, paid rent, and I stayed the same. I had teardrops running down my face. I've been through a lot, I had real pain. But thank God, cause we really on a better days. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. What's a life without sacrifice? Sometimes you gotta thank God and just roll the dice. Pacino.
The road to the top is a riddle. What will be my destiny? Money and fame are awaiting, but not enough is raining on me. Maybe I should give it all up. How much more can I take? Out here singing to the heavens. When I gonna get my break? I can run this town. 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 How will I get out of the jungle? Everybody wanna stop me. 10 more steps up the mountain. Now where feet, this is a shakedown. Order up that beat just like it's takeout. Show me you got soul inside those new shoes, and you can rock and roll with an attitude. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. You're the new MC, you got the remix. Keep it on repeat, just let the beat kick. Everywhere you go, you bring the roof down. Everybody knows you got your own sound. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, yeah, you like it, the way you like it now. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, so good, so fresh. Get up on your feet. Show me you got soul. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Just the way you like it. The way you like it. So good, so fresh. Get up on your feet, this is a shakedown.
presents ESL Challenger League in partnership with Intel, Acer Predator, DHL, and Qiddiya.
Hello everybody and welcome to the ESL Challenger League. We find ourselves in season 50 and we really are at the business end of cup number 3. Lower bracket semi-finals is what we find ourselves feasting on this evening. My name's Hayes and for the first time I'm joined by Affinity. Really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I am. Another cast off of my bingo sheet. It's like a loyalty card, one more and I get a free cast. But I'm super excited to be here, and we were chatting a little bit before. We should have a really good game on our hands for our inaugural cast together. And as you said, we're getting into the meat and potatoes of this ECL Cup number 3, and actually a marked improvement for both of these teams over the previous 2 cups. We actually haven't seen either of them get this far into either of the ECL cups that have happened so far with the new format. So it's exciting to see them actually improving, adapting, and pushing further and further.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually pretty open-ended. When you look at the teams that are left in the competition here in Cup 3, you've got ESC and Sangal in the upper bracket final, and then we've got 4 teams in the lower bracket, right? Johnny Speeds versus Partizan, which is the game we're going to have today, and then Zero Tenacity against Alliance, which is running concurrently to this one. Obviously, the 2 teams that have won a couple cups, or the teams that have won cups already, were Parivision in Cup 1, BC Game in Cup 2, so we're definitely going to be crowning a new cup winner at the end of this one. And like I said, I actually feel like it's super open-ended.
Yeah, it is indeed. Now, as you can see here, the lower bracket, it has been a little bit of a run in the lower bracket here for Partizan, having been knocked down by none other than Johnny Speeds earlier in the tournament. Actually, I think it was round 2. So they've had to fight tooth and nail with their back against the wall for weeks now. But they're here. The journey doesn't get much easier, even if you secure a victory here, because Alliance Zero Tenacity, that is a brutal matchup either way for whoever comes next.
Yeah, I feel like you could just make a case for all the teams at this point as to maybe having a chance of winning the whole cup itself. And obviously what's up for grabs is a spot at Pro League. You win one of the 4 cups, you then go into the season 50 finals, where it's just a straight up single elimination bracket, best of 5 grand final. You win that, you're into Pro League season 23, I think, if I remember correctly. But let's zero in our focus a little bit more here on this game that we're going to have, Johnny Speeds against Partizan. Now, before we got live, you mentioned you feel like Johnny Speeds come into this with a bit of an edge. Do you still feel that way coming into it?
I do indeed, and part of that is because of their previous confrontations. Now, I said they got knocked down. Partizan got knocked down by Johnny Speeds earlier in the tournament, and it wasn't, one-sided affair. 13-8, 13-9 is by no means the scoreline to laugh at here, but it was still pretty decisive. Partizan, a little bit of credit to its due. Valdon put up an insane 1.55 rating, if I'm not mistaken. But Johnny Speeds, they just look one step ahead individually as a cohesive unit. And outside of ECL, they played each other in the Birch Cup last month on LAN, I believe. So that was a 13-3 on Nuke. So there's been a little bit of history between these teams recently. And it seemed that at every step of the way, Johnny Speeds has just been a little bit ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it does seem to be that they've got Partizan's number at the moment. I got to see Partizan yesterday, though, and they actually did impress me quite a lot from top to bottom. The entire team looked pretty damn good. So I don't think... I'm expecting an improvement from Partizan. I don't think that Johnny Speeds are going to be able to get away from this one unscathed, even if they do win the series. As we get a quick look at the veto now, Overpass is actually the one map I haven't seen Partizan play yet, so that's going to be new for me. It's going to be the pick for Johnny Speeds as they're looking to try and make that their primary pick at the moment alongside Inferno. You don't want to let this go to an Inferno decide. I'm actually really surprised Johnny Speeds ban Inferno here. Okay, that catches me a bit off guard, and Mirage will be the third and final. What you thinking?
I think that actually Nuke being banned out is an interesting one, but given their recent confrontations, I'm not surprised Partizan just decided, nope, don't want any part of that. And Mirage being the decider, Partizan's got quite a few reps on actually. I believe it's their most played map in the pool over the past 3 months in officials. Not by much. They really have been putting in the work across quite a lot of this veto. But I think the little switch up of Nuke at the end there is a little variation on what we've seen previously, which gives me that hope. But the issue is the first two maps, Johnny Speed, pretty good showings, pretty good statistically on if you're looking top down. And as you said, you've not seen an overpass from them. Johnny Speeds have played a lot of overpass in officials recently, and they've got 60% win rating. So the veto, it does, in my opinion, lean slightly towards Johnny Speeds here still.
Yeah, I've got to agree with you, honestly. And I don't really think that there's any decisions that Partizan could have made that would have given them a 1-up in the veto. So it's just kind of like painted into a bit of a corner because they also permaban Train, which is the one map Johnny Speeds haven't been great on. And then Johnny Speeds just gets to ban Ancient, right? So at that point, they don't really mind where the chips fall from there. So yeah, I've got to kind of get on board with the Johnny Speeds hype train. I actually just really like this team in general. I mean, quite a few, previous eyeballers rejects. Sapik, Heaps, Fedgerhead all played in that team previously. Of course, Draken waited a long time to get an offer for a team and then never got one, so decided to just make one of his own. It was just a mixed team at first, right? Then they got legitimized as they actually got some proper backing and sponsors and some managers. So Johnny Speeds, which used to be a mix, like I said, is now actually a proper full-blown org where they actually have support. Obviously, they brought Lekro into the mix as well, another Swedish legend. And they've honestly really usurped my expectations, I feel like, or surpassed, maybe a better word, but either way, they really have gone above and beyond and taken things to a level that I just honestly didn't really know that they were capable of.
Yeah, I think they also brought on Heap as their most recent roster change. As you said, Lekro came on in July. Heap was brought on in August. So they've had a little bit of time to gel, and it has shown really stark improvement. Flip side as well, talking about roster changes, Partizan made some very recently. They've got 2 players playing for the team that are on trial, and that's going to be Aidkit and Nopsy. Aidkit, who has genuinely been really stand out, has been putting up ratings beyond what I think anyone was really expecting over on that. But it's whether he's going to be able to keep that up versus this team, and they've got a little bit of history with each other. They've made some roster changes since they last played, so I'd be curious to see how this is going to really impact the goings. I believe we're just putting the final touches on getting into the server here. But you've watched Partizan a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Are there any players that you really want to highlight? Anybody that you're like, that's somebody that maybe a little bit slept on?
Yeah, so, well, the thing is, I don't think that any of the players are particularly slept on Partizan. The thing is, you just got a group of really strong individuals across the board, but no superstars, like burning bright guys that are just going to take over the game. You've got really solid players with very good fundamentals, so you've got a very solid foundation in that regard for Partizan, but you don't have a very strong star player. I don't think a guy like Vladen, he's someone that you want to rely on as a backbone in the team. Dragon is actually seems to be the guy who maybe is transcending to that next level a little bit, at least from what I saw out of him yesterday. Had a very impressive performance. And actually, Aidkit really seems to be coming into his own, joining the team not too long ago as the AWPer, played a good couple maps for the team now, so he's been able to kind of familiarize himself within the system in the team. Nopsy is the one that's just an unknown prospect. I think he played like a single season of ESC main or something like that, so really not much intel out there about what this guy's about, and I've seen some moments from him. I feel like he'll have enough time to kind of come into his own on this team with all 4 of the players around him still actually playing at a pretty good level. My one concern for this Partizan team is the IGL. It used to be Emmy, they then benched him, Collins took over. I think that was his first stint as an IGL for Collins. He then benches himself, citing mental and physical health issues, and then Kindo takes over as the IGL. So they've had like 3 different IGLs in 6 months now, and it's not really ideal with Kindo taking over as the IGL by being kind of painted into that position and not necessarily wanting to take on that responsibility. If you're an IGL, you want to take on that responsibility, not have it put on you. So that is one of my concerns for this team.
Yeah, and it's a difficult one, isn't it? It feels a little bit like a cursed role with how much change there's been and how much chop and change there has been with this very integral, very key role. Is the IGL, it's the mastermind who's calling the shots. You're not going to be able to get the coach on. You're not going to be able to get everybody speaking every single round. So you need somebody that you can really trust at the helm. And if you have that sort of position thrust on you, it can be really detrimental to the individual performance, as we talked about, but also the going, the stopping and starting can be really weird with how you perform it in the server, because everyone's a little bit different in how they call it and what they see whilst you're in the server, and having a little bit more of an inexperienced voice, that can be a little bit of a worry.
Yeah, and on a T-side like Overpass, you want to have some reps in as an IGL. My goodness, Dragon hanging around maybe for a bit longer than what would normally be advised. He's going to be able to fall back after having his bell rung, but he's not going to go all the way into the bomb side. He's going to hang around Divider. Oh my goodness. This is going to be a round to forget for Dragon. Just double dinked and taken out of the equation. And Johnny Speeds, I guess the clue's in the name, just fiery in their pursuit of that A-bomb side.
They want to try get ahead of this retake as quickly as possible. Aid kit, long range with the jewelry. It's not exactly working too well, but it's held a lot of the attention here, trying to allow Nopsy the space to work, and unfortunately nobody showing themselves.
Oh my goodness, okay, kills continue to go back and forth. Sapik and Draken looking to combine to wrestle this one back here for Johnny Speeds. What was a brief 4 versus 2 is now back into an even number situation. Smoke dropped on the bomb, a kit for Vlad, and he's just tapped it for now, and then they tap a couple players out of the round as well. I mean, what a chaotic retake, but super successful for Partizan.
Yeah, I mean, 4K for 8K, I got so nervous towards the end there because those Julies were running out of bullets, and that is a long reload time, and in a position where you don't really have the opportunity to do that, but somehow weaseling out and isolating that fight through the smoke, just that last bullet in the Julies to get it done. And a bit touch and go there, but bomb gets planted. They end up winning the round, Partizan, but it's a bit messy. Both teams will be able to buy, and actually, Aid Kit has managed to get himself an AWP in round 2.
Well, that's just down to the fantastic quad kill, I suppose. At least he's got head armor. That's the one thing I am happy to see. Too many players will get the AWP and just Kevlar, and it's like, oh, that's a bit too risky for my money. But why not? On CT side of Overpass, why the hell not?
It's a statement piece. We were saying we were a little bit worried if they can get an early lead, an early start, and sort of temper the expectations. Now there it is. The AWP peeks on out, finds the second pick of the round. They are just going to fall back, sit on their hands for a second. Dragon could peek it, seen the flash, worried might be pushed from mid, but here it is. Battle of the sniper rifles, AWP versus Scout. Flash goes over the top. Dragon's going to activate, baiting on out heat. Switches over to the AK, spraying away, gets the first. Just a matter of time, closing in on his prey. Can't quite find the pick. A little bit messy, but there we go. Second round confirmed, and it is flawless.
I love how Aid Kid just bails. He's like, yep, I've got my 2 kills. Dragon, I know you're fully committed, but I'm out of here, man. I've got this AWP, and I don't want to risk going down. You know, if we both go down, all of a sudden, the round kind of gets turned on its head. But Dragon's still able to just hold his own there, left to his own devices, no problem. Like Bear Grylls, just out in the wild, you know, just eating some crazy animals and mud all over his face. But he made it work. He survived.
Made it work.
Yeah. Now an eco round.
Surely, can they continue to make it work? They shouldn't really face too much resistance in this round.
No.
Epic's going for a little bit of early aggression, but unfortunately here he's got a lot of eyes waiting for him.
You know what I do respect? The flashbang on Svedge ahead. The one guy who hasn't upgraded his pistol, he's decided he's going to try and buy up a piece of utility here to help the team out. Look at that, Sapik. What's your deagle done there, mate? Oh, nothing. Yeah. Watch this flashbang, though. This flashbang is going to win them the entire round. I'm calling it.
This flashbang is holding my entire hopes and dreams on it right now. So I'm going to trust you that this flashbang
You're in
is going
safe
to
hands.
fix the world.
Yeah, exactly. All of our problems resolved by this lone flashbang. He's by himself. This is what I'm like, wait, he's all the way by himself on B. He can't even try and flash his teammates forward. He wants that deek so badly. And he's not going to get it. He's going to have to just accept that it's a Glock for him. And Johnny Speeds, well, might as well just commit to your death at this point, boys.
Yeah, they've not fooled anyone with this as well. It's been individuals poking on out. They know that the bulk of the force is still remaining elsewhere.
And now it's going to be easy pickings. There's that flash. Oh, womp womp. Okay, I lied to everybody. I am eternally apologetic. I just take it up with Svedge ahead. Take it up with him. We'll put it at his doorstep. As Partizan have been able to go 3-0.
Next round, there's going to be a flashbang in this round that's going to change it. They're just belated, you know? Leaving us in suspense. But I think you're right, you know, having that flash and not upgrading your pistol is great, especially when you're with, you know, the bulk of the team. You flash out, you isolate a fight, you pick up a weapon, maybe you can spiral that into something a little bit more. But sort of in a position where your toes are just getting tapped away and you're on your own, and that flashbang is maybe going to get you slightly able to back away in a round that didn't look winnable anyway. It's a weird choice.
Yeah. I just love seeing teams buy up utility in their eco rounds instead of going for upgraded pistol solely. But here in the gun round now, let's see if Johnny Speeds can get themselves going. Open up their account on their map pick. It's going to be an emergence from Kindo peering over and above the wall. And
doesn't
now,
damage there.
Yeah, I was also shocked with the nades basically landing on top of him. He's got some sort of a shield.
Force field.
Oh.
It's the power of the flashbang from last round. Oh, but there's the pick through the wall. And it's a boost on up, so no, there's more players hanging around. There's nothing really more they can do to activate off the back of this. Weapon recovered from the crevice of the building.
Yeah, where to from here, though, for Johnny Speeds? It actually looks like it's going to be an A bomb site finish. Aid Kit has just rotated down in towards B. This is because Johnny Speeds had gotten a kill here earlier on in the round, and they're still heavily pressuring in towards this B bomb site as well. But this is all a ruse. This is just to draw attention away from A. Sapik with the great entry kill is only going to sell the fake even further.
Is they have all moved on down here, spraying away. Can't quite find Kindo, but the fact that they've heard nothing more does mean no follow-up. Aid Kit's probably worried, calling over teammates. Can't find the fully flashed pick. That site is going to fall. Smoke's available. We've got nothing here now for Bank. Utility all but gone, so it's just going to be about looking, finding the right angle. Goes for the shot through the box, won't connect. Now Lecro looking to push beyond the site. Give them that buffer for the post plant with that one remaining smoke all but on its final legs.
Yeah, you gotta just call it a day, get out of here. Yeah, it's exactly what they're going to do. Good work from Johnny Speeds. Nice layered round coming through from them. Pressuring into construction early on. Super active with the boosts there were Partizan, but ultimately it kind of comes back to bite them. Good awareness from Lecro, just posted on the angle. Able to find that frag to really set the round in motion, and I just love that big fake over on the B site with Sapik getting that extra kill. Really just did all the legwork to sell the fake down the river, and then they just waltz on into basically a vacant A site, just force Aid Kit back with the flash. And that's going to be their first round on the board, and they keep 4 players alive in the process. Healthy boost for their finances, as the game is now alive and well.
Exactly, and I think a lot of that comes down to if that fake had been any less convincing, they get onto site, there is no utility to hold it. So if there is any more presence near the site, instantly they can re-hit. There's nothing for this longevity of this bomb timer, so beautifully handled. We need to see it be a little bit more and build back up. You know, 2-round deficit, it's not huge, but they're probably not particularly eager with it. Now Sapik looking to go for the early fight, and there is a heavily stacked construction here. 3 players watching his location. They go for the aggressive peek. They are going to lose that fight. Need to be wary, though. But all of these players, they've just pulled back. Find a pick. Don't give them an opportunity to punish.
Yeah, it's actually quite nice discipline there from Johnny Speeds off the back of getting that opening kill, but I'm just like, what? So disconnected. Nopsy is pushing forward, then Dragon's still saying back and towards construction, or short. Got the boost in play right now. Vladden eventually going to get a kill, rewarded for his patience. But just seemed like Nopsy was on a different page altogether. And in the meantime, there's nobody over towards that A side. Partizan are at least going to be able to rotate a couple players across before Johnny Speeds get that control, though.
Yeah, Kindo ready and waiting on the angle. Flashes are not going to affect him, but he's got to be careful because Heap's already pushing, but it's already dealt with, dispatched off. Dragon needs to be next up to the chopping block. having a look, spots ahead, finds the pick, but the issue is so many smokes, they can't find any footsteps closer, but Dragon's found another one, prowling on forward. Everyone's just going to back away, and there's a lovely lurk here from Valden. He needs to find a way to make it activate on time, but with Dragon tucked in long here, it's not going to be particularly effective. Need to find a time to hop on that bomb. Electro's already watching this. Dragon's found the peak on long. 1v1, they both have each other's locations. Smoke's gonna come on out. And now he's got to peek his own smoke for this. I guess trying to be mysterious and allure, but there it is, round the corner, unsuspecting. It's a bit of a weird one, but he makes it work.
Yeah, that was peculiar. I think, was he maybe like faking as though smoke was a flash? That's the only thing I can kind of think of there, but outside of that, I'm not entirely sure, but it all works out. It works out in the end for Johnny Speeds, as they're able to now string consecutive rounds together. That one a bit more unlikely. Good job from them to get it across the line. Plenty money for Partizan as they continue to afford the weapons, and Johnny Speeds have now shown a tendency to really take their time in these rounds and try and keep Partizan guessing.
Yeah, which is very contrary to the name, isn't it?
Yeah, true, actually. But then again, on a map like Overpass, you do have to, have that more methodical, strategic approach. And look at that util damage. An airstrike on the sandbags means Nopsy's down to just 4 points of health.
Yeah, and Valden's not faring much better himself. They're not gonna be able to do anything about this long offense. I say that, Heap's the first to peak and the first to go down. This orb slowly round the corner, missed shot will get capitalized upon. And now 3 players left. Yeah, they've got control elsewhere, but that is a huge detriment to the round they were trying to build. Bomb is safe and secure, I guess, is the silver lining, but 2-player disadvantage, and you've got a tiny foothold. Where do you really want to take this?
Yeah, good question. I mean, plenty util damage done, but unconfirmed, and it's 2 players who have dropped for Johnny Speeds with their excursion in towards long. Aidkid posted on an angle, but oh, Lecro. I didn't know you were about that life still these days, mate. Okay, fair enough. And Sapik, well, we've seen him look pretty sharp with some of his entries already. What a way to wrestle this one back for Johnny Speeds from a 5v3 into a 3-on-3. Just straight up raw gunfights going their way, and they're going to find the bomb plants as well.
Indo, lovely opportunity here, but Electro spots it, has dealt with the HE damage and is ready to go. And I think maybe the save just wanting to be called here. Money's not going to be in a great spot on Dragon. They need to try get him out. Has an opportunity to pass it, but he's still hanging around a little bit longer for an extra kill. Is not going to overstay his welcome, though. Isn't presented with a pick and decides, no, cut the losses. And it's always nice to see teams avoiding that sunken cost fallacy, especially after you've been lured in with those 2 opening picks, not to try and let the ego lead and try find a way to bring this back.
I mean, that is true. Cut your losses is important sometimes, but I mean, to be losing a 5v3 without getting another kill in the round is really brutal. And you got to give up credit to Lekra at that point. What a kill on Aidkid. We're watching it from Aidkid's POV, and it looks like he's just going to straight up get the kill, and that should just guarantee the round at that point. But Lekro, with some very impressive mechanics, gets a super clean kill, and then he's even able to find another in the round on his opposite number. And that means we've got a leveled up scoreline now. Partizan came out the gate swinging, but Johnny Speeds have answered back in kind.
That they have already evened up the scoreline and going to be keeping Partizan fairly humble economically if this continues. Dragon wanting to go for the super early hunt. No one's going to show their face. HE to part the smoke, but actually he's going to back away there. Forces Dragon out forward, baiting him into the setup. But there it is, the pick. Dragon onto Dragon. Alden,
what a combo.
More danger than he knows.
Does Draken mean dragon in Swedish, surely? Like, it has to, right? Come on.
I think so, or in some language.
Yeah, we'll have to check that one out. Google Translate will do the lifting for me.
It's in several languages.
Yeah. Oh, yeah? So Draken actually does mean dragon, right? Swedish
being one of them.
Awesome. So we've got the Swedish dragon versus the, I want to say Serbian dragon, but it's in English, so I don't know, I'm kind of in betwixt and between there. But still, I do like that, dragon versus dragon.
Dragon head to head?
Yes, sir.
Alright. as we've talked about it, they like to be very patient into this round. So whilst we've been talking about Dragons, it's because slow round to get moving here after this initial contact, but they've rotated the forces up onto A. Draken able to isolate yet another fight. Valton finds one, and immediately the activation, the swing to find the next. And that's going to cause a lot of problems because only 20 seconds left, and they've had to completely divert.
Yeah, they've got a flasher. Can they find the flash necessary, though? They're just going to drop the smoke to get the cross. 8Kid's going to go into the smoke. He's just solely playing now to deny the defuse, because, the bomb plant. He knows if he can deny the plant, they straight up win the round. But this is super risky from him with the USP. He's going to slip back through the smoke. He's taken all the attention away from Vladen and Kendo, who will actually come through to get the kills. 8Kid, I'm not sure about that plan. I mean, it works out, but I'm still not so convinced.
Yeah, there's been some interesting, maybe not weird, less innovative strategies we've seen today. Some of the entrepreneurs of the future, I guess. But, yeah, messy round. It's the fact that Kindo's activation there's perfect. I was about to sing the praises of Johnny Speeds for having all of these fights that just don't get traded. And that there's maybe a little bit of a question mark there for Partizan that so many isolated duels are allowed to happen without repercussion. But then, I have to bite my tongue because the complete opposite happens and Leaf is taken out of their playbook.
Gonna have Draken's AWP in play this time. Yeah, just narrowly misses out. 8Kid also missing his shot, so both AWPers kind of squandering opportunities. Both of them quite difficult, to be fair to them. Look at our Partizan are trying to play on the front lines here in this round. They've got a player deep in towards long, a player fountain already, the AWP peering in towards lowers, and then just a sole player on this B bomb site. Dragon gonna catch Heap off guard. Mac 10 baited into trying to make a play off the back of Heap going down, and 8Kid will snuff him out of the round.
Yeah, they've been struggling with these early rounds, losing these opening duels, and now they turn up the pace. Everyone tucked on in. They've been given a lot of space to work with. HE to blow open, but Kindo is going to find one before being taken down. Malden, do they even have any idea that he's here? Lurking, creeping, crawling. Draken's found aid kit, but they've got a problem directly under their noses. He hears the drop down, but he's not sure whether to go for it or not. Unfortunately, smoke fades and Draken is there waiting with arms open. Nopsy looking for something, anything, knows somebody's construction, so he's going to smoke off this one angle, but there's still a player on site hiding somewhere. You have a bit of an idea, but Electro, there it is. It's picked perfect. Dragon's got one, but time's starting to run suspiciously low. Has a kit, but it needs to be now, and Electro is just waiting, using up every second of this precious time. It's so scrappy, and there's a very real chance. Hops on, I don't think he's got it, but there's no escape either way. Might as well go down, looking like a hero.
I mean, were there some miscommunications there on Partizan or something? Because it seemed like it took a while for Dragon to actually realize that he was in towards water. And even then, he takes so much time to try and force the fight at that point. Just looked a bit flustered, honestly. Lekro holds his nerve. I mean, he had nowhere to try and fall back to. Stands his ground, and although he goes down, he was able to buy enough time as we continue to go back and forth. Super important game for both of these teams, looking to try and win Cup 3 to get themselves into the EU Finals, ECL EU Finals a bit later on in the year. Lose this, and you're out of contention, at least as far as Cup 3 is concerned.
Yeah, and then there's only one more cup available to try and claim that ESL Pro League spot. So you don't want to say it's do or die. There is still another cup after this, but your chances are running low, and yeah, the earlier that you can try get that secured, the less weight you have on your shoulders going forward. And as you said, we're going to crown a new victor either way. Now, a little bit interesting here, that A site completely vacant. They've managed to walk down long and cut them off already. There's a pick to be found, and well, I mean, they could head down B. Alternatively, you've got the whole site. You could set up post plants and just wait for them to play into you. Heap's going to go check bank. Nobody there just yet. Nopsy taking his time to work on up, and these crossfires, these post plant positions starting to get pretty heavily established.
Yeah, Nopsy, an important part here, and unfortunately going to go down without a kill. He goes 0-7 as a result of that death, and going to have to just pull the plug on the round entirely for Partizan, abandon the retake, and that means Johnny Speeds will be getting themselves a lead for the first time here on their map. Pick T-side overpass. That's a really healthy position that they find themselves in.
Yep.
not entirely convinced by these setups from Partizan. Like, it just tells me that they don't have a huge amount of faith in their CT side on this map. Like, there's so many different gamble setups being played right now. Not really any orthodox setups. They're leaving quite a few gaps. I mean, they've gone, yeah, and players are getting picked off as well, having their weapons being denied, carried over. But still, like, you know, they just completely stack up bathrooms, leave long, and just gamble, no one goes there. We've seen them abandon the B bomb site, we've seen them abandon the A bomb site a couple times, so clearly just trying these gimmicky setups, but Johnny Speeds have read into that. They've realized that there are going to be gaps that they can exploit, and if they find no contact, you might as well just keep pushing at that point.
It feels like what happens when I'm forced to call in my pugs, you know? Is
okay.
Call a ludicrous strat and hope that it works. Spoiler alert, guys, it doesn't. But now they're on pistols, so maybe something a little bit gimmicky, something pacey, limit test here would work. Only on this round, not for any of the others, not when you have guns, mind you, but they would have had a little bit more to work with here if they hadn't gone and allowed those final couple of picks at the end of last round, so...
Also a bit careless, right? Like, hanging around a bit unnecessarily. Probably should have just been falling back to, like, T-spawn at that point. There's no point in half saving. Like, you either just go all in, commit to the save, get as far away as you can. I mean, looking for exit kills just not worth the risk at that point. So... just kind of paying the price for that here.
Tell together with paper clips, you know.
Okay, I like that.
A little bit sloppy on all kind of fronts here, but they've still kept it relatively humble in the scoreline if you take out the context of it being CT side. And an opportunity here. Don't peek one by one, please. There was a jump heard. They know that somebody else is here. Heap's just going to back away, put himself in the best position. Baden with the only weapon in this round is going to peek out into a whole party of people waiting for him, and then it's just Nopsy left, who hasn't yet found a kill.
Yeah, and I mean, that's not going to change here either. 0-8. The rest of his team is online, but he's going to have to join them soon enough because we're 10 rounds deep into Overpass and he's yet to have a contribution. Not going to be winning this 4v5, that's for sure. Not when you've got Johnny Speeds. I was going to say with everybody online, Heap and Svedjet still lagging behind a little bit, but they're warming up to it as things go on here.
Yeah, and there's a little bit more lenience as well. If, you know, 6 rounds already at minimum on your T side, and it's looking pretty clean ever since those first 3 rounds. So if you're still winning the rounds without the individual stepping up, there's no worry. The issue will be is if Partizan start getting back into this and the kills still aren't coming. That is a lovely peek on up there for Dragon and a second to capitalize. But the issue is, has been instantly trades. Dragon though is trying to drag his team to some semblance of victory here. Finds a third and a chance for the team in this round. Footsteps going to be heard. Can he find a little bit more? 4, go on. Give him the ace, please.
Well, he might not be given the ace. He might have to take the ace, you know, although Vladden, okay, never mind, gets to just step out from the barrels to finish off the job. What a moment there from Dragon, a quad kill. I mean, I spoke about how in the pregame it seemed like he might be the guy who can kind of step up to the mantle of being the quote-unquote star player for Partizan, and I mean, he's having a hell of a time of it right now, but this is just to, like, keep them alive. This isn't even a performance that's allowing for them to transcend to the next level. It's just keeping them in the contest, really.
Yeah, and it's been my buzzword recently, sustainability of victory, right? Is it's not sustainable to rely on an individual having to get 4 kills for the round to be won, having to drag the whole team with an individual performance. You need something that is a little bit more of a solid foundation to build off of. So whilst it's working for now, you got to look about how this is going to come to fruition in the long run. But here it is, Vladden with 2 of his own decides to step on up here, but it is not without returning fire.
Yeah, and looks like they're going to continue to try and make these plays as well. Sapik! I'm not sure that was entirely intentional. He knocks them both down. I'm spraying at the first, ends up fragging both, and seems like they got a pretty good idea that Kindo's over towards this B-bomb side as well. Probably just done their homework as to how Partizan generally set themselves up here on the CT side. You can see how quickly they're accelerating in towards A. No need for Sapik to just give up his life here. He's just toying with Kindo, who's almost on the polar opposite side of the map as to where the bomb's gone down. Mate, this is the last round. You don't have the luxury of shift walking right now, Kindo. You've got to go A, brother. You're chasing ghosts. Come on.
I think he's realised he heard you, and unfortunately he starts chasing the wrong second. 5-7, a beautiful end to the half there for Johnny Speeds.
for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been tested so much, all these wrestlers nice. All these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of all my feet when I touch the ground. Front of ain't it Beijing, man, ain't know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. I'm faced with a lot of different choices these days. Do a rock and roll Lex account of Blueface. The whole world know my name off a mixtape. I still got the same brothers since 6th grade. G-Wagon red seats, we on Biscayne. Trips to the Florida Keys, we imported these. Thanking God for the life he afforded me. All this jewelry on my body, I could light the hood. I need a brown skinned chick just like Megan Good. Holding up every promise that I ever made. Music in the background, it's a serenade. Been rapping 10 years, boy, this ain't a phase. I paid dues, paid rent, and I stayed the same. I had teardrops running down my face. I've been through a lot, I had real pain. But thank God, cause we really on a better days. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back.
Okay, we're about to get underway here with the second half of Overpass. Johnny Speeds against Partizan. Map 1, the pick of Johnny Speeds, and boy do they find themselves in a healthy position off the back of their T side.
Yep, and a pistol round here could be a devastating blow to this first map. It is their map pick, and now on their favoured side, so we're expecting to see great things coming out from this Partizan. It looked a little bit messy to start with on that CT side, but maybe that'll lean perfectly into how they want to play the T side. But Sapek, what a shot to open this up with. Lekro, fully flashed, is going to get taken down, but there is a trade there from Svedgehead. Sapek, another pick, and suddenly the forces are dwindled. The cavalry has arrived.
Kid just dinked his teammate there. That's unfortunate. Straight through the smoke. Gonna give some information away. Kindo now on top of Sapek in the smoke. Gonna emerge out on the other side. Sapek seems to have realized what went on there, though. Relays the info through to Heap. He'll get the kill, and it is the perfect start here for Johnny Speeds, as they're able to pick up the pistol in the second half. Can't help but notice Nopsy's tough times continue here. 0-11. The new guy in the team has just not been able to deliver what his team requires from him just yet.
Yeah, that was a very weird round, all things considered. I think we've said that a lot. It's been an interesting one, the fact that, you know, dink on the teammate, they cross each other, but no bomb plant means no weaponry in this one. I say that Aid Kit and Dragon have managed to get themselves a little bit of an upgrade, and, you know, you can't blame them when they're the ones that have really been stepping up for this team when it matters. But, gotta find something to do with it. It's not quite a full stack. Waiting for a peak. I don't think Johnny Speeds are going to give them a fight.
That would be unadvised for sure. Especially in the sort of a round, just a couple hand cannons. If you're Johnny Speeds, you're already marching onto that finish line. No need to take any unnecessary risks. Keep it nice and tight here in the anti-eco. Build up some finances on the CT side. As I say that though, Draken's like, yeah, still might just have a bit of a swing though.
That's a treat.
As a treat.
Now, Ooh, player spotted. Heap, do you want to go for that again? No, they both have a little bit of a look and decide it's not a problem right now. Let him have mid. Let him be hopped up on the half wall, but now all focus and attention back to bathrooms. Draken's got one, Heap's got a second. That leaves two isolated fights. Nopsy now would be the chance to step on up, is unable to do so. It's a body shot at best. Valden picks up the Desert Eagle, maybe is a little bit of a prize, a comfort weapon in the time of dying need, but cleaned up house. Nothing too out of the ordinary there, given the buy that they were up against, but it is really widened the chasm here for Johnny Speed starting off this half.
I mean, let's remember the way that the map had begun, right? It was Partizan who were able to kind of come out the gate swinging, winning the pistol, converting against the Force and the Anti-Eco. So it was a 3-0 scoreline that now reads 9-5. So Johnny Speeds have won 9 out of the past 11 rounds in complete control. And you know what? I'd go so far as to say if they win this gun round here, we probably can just infer that they'll get the map done sooner rather than later.
It would take a monumental tonal shift for them too. And there it is, Draken peeks out, gets two, he is being lights out, make it a third. And they heard you saying if they get this round, it kind of feels that the book is closing.
Oh, wow.
On this map, and Heap is really just convincing, selling this. Valden not even expecting it. Draken with a fourth. It's looking immaculate. The first gun round dismantled, and it doesn't even feel like a gun round.
No, you're right. Johnny Speeds just run Partizan over in that round and they make it look super easy in the process. That's a hell of a statement coming through from Draken in particular. Not even with the Zorp there. That's with the rifle on the front lines, able to just pick up kill after kill and then continue to actually push even further forward. Supremely confident is Draken in that round. Johnny Speed's now just 3 rounds away. And, I mean, no kills for Partizan in, what, 2 rounds now?
Yeah, it has been barren. And they've not exactly got the best weaponry to not continue to do this. Nopsy manages to just about dodge the hail of bullets. It's not without taking some damage, but he's managed to at least find a little bit of a position. But whether it's even going to come to any fruition, I guess we'll find out later in the round, because it seems that the whole team's going A instead.
All right. What have they got cooking up here? Nopsy with an incendiary in towards water. 3 players long. One lagging behind it. Fountain. Dragon should be dead here, yeah. Caught out in the open. Nice trade out of Dragon. And there's only 1 player left on the safe bomb side as things stand. As Heapu's here. He wants to be active in his defense and he finds really good timing. Dragon and Aid Kit just line up. Heap knocks them down and regains full control in the round until Vladen just lets his deagle sing.
It gives them an opportunity, but Lekro is going to shut that down. Flash over the side. It's going to do more harm to him than it is to Valden. But he's got teammates posted on up. Bomb is on back, but there's no way that they're going to allow this to get planted.
Surely not. Although, is there enough life left in that smoke? Not going to commit to it anyway. And in the meantime, you've got the flank coming through from Svedge ahead. Best case scenario is to die to one of the rifles. It's not going to happen though. The MP9 is going to be the one to get the frag. At least 2 kills, a bit of economic damage being inflicted by Partizan, but it's just inconsequential when Johnny Speeds have got so much money. Draken going to have the AWP coming into this next round as well. Only going to make matters even more difficult here for Partizan, you'd imagine.
Yeah, the fact that Dragon finds the pick, that's kind of lucky, because again, they peek out 1 by 1, and you say they keep it that round a little bit humble. Economic damage doesn't matter if the game is over, and you're running out of opportunity. Economic damage is only good if there is some sort of lean that this is going to go the distance and keep them humble. If they're still just winning, it doesn't matter, because they've still got weapons in their hands, and Sapeg is still using them with a lethal force.
Yeah, you've got to win rounds to take advantage of economic damage inflicted. Otherwise, like you say, just doesn't carry any weight, doesn't mean anything at that point. And it's going to be Kindo taken down early on. Draken going to be in the right place, right time. Connects on the shot, no problem there. Vladen counted out of the round. And although it's 3v5, it almost feels, and I hate to say it, like a 2v5, because Nopsy is 0-14. Still yet to get a kill. We're 16 rounds deep, currently in the 17th. Could this be his moment? Come on, Nopsy. I'm backing him here at this point.
The highlight reel at the end of this, I can already feel it.
The 3-second highlight reel.
The 3-second highlight reel. I mean, it might not even be that.
I know.
Needs to
We
find
need something to put in
Come on.
there. Yeah.
Oh, they're just not even going to peek it.
This is his round, Affinity. I can feel it.
Come on.
There's a
Come on,
big
Noxy, we're
triple kill
rooting for
coming
you.
through here. It's not like I lied to you guys with the flashbang. I'm not lying again, I swear.
Oh, he's
Yeah,
done it.
go on, lad. Gets the one, nearly gets the double. If he finds that other kill there as well, there could have been a chance in the round, but he does get traded out. They know Dragon's in towards short. Decision-making time with 25 seconds left on the clock. They might just accept their fate and call it a day. Save their guns. There's no way you're going to get onto the B bomb site from here, fellas. You have to save. This is just futile. What are we doing?
The flash doesn't do anything. 7 seconds, aid kit. I mean, I don't even know if aid kit's gonna get out of here alive. Oh, does find one. That might be a little bit of a mercy, but it's just gonna be run on down. Missed shot. Oh, is he gonna be saved by the bell? He does find a second. Oh, and in the very last millisecond, it hurts. It's the worst possible outcome.
You know why I say good? Because they don't commit to the save when it was very obvious a while before that there was no way that they could have won the round. Like, they had to have read that way sooner, because now look at what they've got. I mean, he's died after the timer. He's got $250. He's poorer than me. Not by much, but he is. He gets a flash and a Glock. No one even gives him a P250. Noxy says, nah, mate, I need my utility. Sorry, aid kit. Oh, that's so rough.
Bad.
Yeah, big time.
Back with the first, second, it's all kind of over. The writing's on the wall. They're just signing their name now.
This is brutal. Absolute brutality on the timeline. Johnny Speed's dominating Partizan on their map pick of Overpass. Your prediction looking pretty damn good right now.
It doesn't feel good, though. This doesn't feel like a proud, I guessed this correctly, though, because this is not how I expected it to pan out.
Yeah, I get you. I mean, just been very little resistance. Partizan don't even win a single round on their T side. It was 3-0 for them at one point. They only win 2 more rounds from there. Oh, grimacing. Vladimir and Kindo, can they find some sort of a miracle between them? Fantastic timing on the util. Johnny Speed's just looking like such a well-oiled unit at the moment, and it's just a formality from here. Kindo does get one back, but then that puts him on notice. Everybody starts to rotate in his direction. Nothing discreet about his approach. Perfect flashbang, and Sapik will seal the deal. 13-5. Johnny Speeds 1-0 up.
They looked so clean. They were playing it really well. Is that when you're going up against an opponent that's throwing everything in the kitchen sink to try figure out what's working, the fact that they were so good at, on their T side being patient, going for that opening pick, but always waiting for the right second, not going, you know what, we found 2, let's just rush on into their demise and allowing them to find anything. They starved them of information. They starved them of fights where they were walking away with a player advantage. It was just looking very, very clean, all things considered.
Yeah, that's the perfect word to use. Super clean coming through there from Johnny Speeds from start to finish. Very impressive performance on their map pick of Overpass, and it's just great to see that their map pool is kind of growing in this fashion as well. Almost adding to their repertoire. We've seen how good they've been on Inferno in the past, and now Overpass, clearly a map that they can absolutely rely on. You can throw that in the mix with something like Dust 2 as well, which is going to be our next map. That's the pick of Partizan, and we're certainly hoping for an improved performance from them going into Dust. But before we go into Dust, we go into a break.
This is a shakedown. Order up that beat just like it's takeout. Show me you got soul inside those new shoes, and you can rock and roll with an attitude. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. You're the new MC, you got the remix. Keep it on repeat, just let the beat kick. Everywhere you go, you bring the roof down. Everybody knows you got your own sound. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, yeah, you like it, the way you like it now. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, so good, so fresh. Get up on your feet. Show me you got soul. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. The way you like it. Just the way you like it. The way you like it. So good, so fresh. Get up on your feet, this is a shakedown.
Map number 2 about to get underway, and it is Dust 2, and it's a pick of Partizan. We're hoping for a drastic improvement from their performance. I mean, Overpass, it started fine. They were up 3-0. It was all good and well, but that was pretty much all we got from Partizan on Johnny Speeds' pick. And I don't feel like this is going to get any easier. Even though it's their map pick, Johnny Speeds do enjoy themselves a Dust.
They do indeed, and they've got an incredible win rate in officials over the past couple of months. They've played some great teams, and they've beaten some great teams as well in recent weeks and recent months on this map. So I'd be curious to see if there's much that Partizan can bring to this. They did choose this map, but Johnny Speeds have had a lot of experience to draw from recently, a lot of opportunity to learn to adapt as well from the, well, only about the third of games that they realistically lose.
Yeah, I'm just looking at this thinking, you know, we didn't see Partizan at their best on Dust. Like, there's a lot more juice left to the squeeze. I saw them yesterday. I mean, Dragon was the one guy who you absolutely can't critique. He had a great game, but the rest of the team did leave a lot to be desired. So, yeah, we need to see an improvement. The one thing I'll say is Vladden is very good on this map. He is fantastic on the B-bomb side in particular. He's the B anchor. He's probably one of the best B anchors on this map at this level, at like the tier 2, tier 2.5 kind of level. I'd put Vladden right up there at the top. It does mean that maybe they might have a bit of a deficiency elsewhere on the map. You know, Nopsy's got to make sure he's not exploitable like he was on Overpass. You've seen Drakens looking really good. That's only going to be more of a headache for them to try and contain now on Dust, which is like an AWP heavy map, as is Overpass, I suppose. So yeah, I don't really know if I can see this one going a third. Just not map dependent at all, but just based on what we saw on Overpass.
Yeah, it's gonna need to be a lot more discipline from the side of Partizan coming into this. We were talking about it. I think the word I'd use is otherworldly. So just describing some of the executes as and some of the decisions that were made strategically over on Overpass. And I'm hoping that Dust 2, it's a little bit more of like a standard map. It's a map that, you know, everyone knows, everyone's got a deep strat book for, hopefully by this point in Counter-Strike's long history, right? So I'm hoping that we get to see a little bit of a return to normalcy here and falling back on something a little bit more structured, a little bit more default. I'm hoping to see a couple more sort of individual highlights as well. Draken was amazing over on Overpass. Aid Kit, this is another AWP heavy map. I'm hoping we get the opportunity to actually see him on the AWP a little bit more, because that wasn't always a guaranteed, given that they weren't finding the rounds, they weren't finding themselves in particularly great times economically.
Yeah, I mean, Aid Kit, I've seen him have some really good performances in the Partizan jersey, and I think Dust 2 is actually a map he does some of his best work. So I think your suspicions are well-founded that Aid Kit could have a meaningful contribution here on Dust. And they're going to need it. I mean, this is not... Oh, excuse me. This is now the lower bracket, which means lose this game, you're eliminated. And Partizan have been in the lower bracket for a hot minute, right? Like I think they've won 4 games in the lower bracket so far to get themselves to this point. So it's been a hell of a run. And who dropped into the lower bracket? It was Johnny Speeds, right? So they'd be loving to try and get revenge here, but it's going to be a hard-fought battle to secure that revenge, I suppose, or realize it.
Yeah. I would be quite interested to see, because it always hurts a little bit when the team that sent you to the lower bracket also ends up in the lower bracket and curb stomps you out of the competition, you know? So it would be a nice revenge, and this is their map pick. If they can get a convincing start, because I think that's the thing, is that we saw them take the first 3 rounds over on Overpass, and then everything after that was just a little bit messy, was just a little bit scrappy. But if we can see a bit of a stronger start here, not just the first 3 rounds, we need to see a little bit more after that. We want to see the individuals that were quiet for the first, you know, quarter, half of the map, getting their voices heard a little bit earlier. Nopsy especially, I mean, it wasn't a great showing, but the only way is up, right?
That's true. You certainly can't go down from here if you're Partizan. I mean, maybe being eliminated could be regarded as going down, but I'm not sure either way. The performance on the second map can't be worse than the first. They're going to start off on the T side here, bringing some utility to the table. Did mention Kendo, pretty new to the role as IGL. They didn't win around on their T side of Overpass, but they're far more well-versed on the T side of Dust. It's a far more comfortable map and half for them. And they'd like to open up favorably here.
Yeah, a lot of information by these fairly advanced positions. A peek down long for Heap means that they've heard nothing. Doors very pushed up, ear to the wall. They're over on B for Svedgenhead. So for Svedgehead, bit of a mouthful username. I like it though.
Yeah.
Quiet start for him, but I mean, huge amounts of information. They've heard nothing anywhere else. They've heard a little bit mid. There's an amazing smoke that is doing a lot of heavy lifting here, but it's going to funnel them into a stacked B side.
Yeah, and it's going fantastically well for the players stacked up over towards B. Great kills dispersed between Sapik and Svedge ahead. Draken will be the one to finish off the job, and Johnny Speeds pick up here on Dust where they left off on Overpass.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure at the end there what the call is to try jump into the smoke. Maybe if you silently slip in, you can get the drop on them. But, you know, jumping around. And we've seen a lot of second round heavy buys. We've got an AUG on Sapek for round 2. Last time we saw the AWP second round for 8-Kit after that amazing sort of 4K with the Julies. But, you know, both of these teams coming out swinging. Oh, Draken. Oh, they're not expecting a peek. He lines up 3. He lines up 4. Switches to the sidearm, tapping away. And I think Kindo's goal right now is just deny the ace. Runs into Lekro, and Lekro is going to put this down and blink and you miss it.
Honestly, would have been better just giving up the ace there to Draken because then he ends up dying to the SMG some extra money. I mean, I know it's just a small minutiae of a detail, but still funny that he doesn't want to feed Draken and ultimately gives up more money. Either way, 2-0 as we go into the first gun round. Certainly a bonus round here for the CT side with a couple weaker weapons in play, but a full buy around the corner should they lose this one. As for Partizan, they've got everything that they need. Yet to win a round on the T side in the series. Is that going to change here?
Guess we'll find out. Early spray isn't going to connect, so that's going to give the opportunity for Catwalk to be crunched on up. Heap's got 1, though. Tapping away for a little bit more. Smoke comes out from Draken. I have a feeling, actually, they choose to respect it. They fall back, and now they are stuck between a rock and a hard place. Tapped away in mid. Can't push forward towards A. Got no knowledge anywhere else on the map. Luckily for them, nobody in tunnels, but they've still got to be wary of it.
I just love the initiative being taken by Heap to get that opening kill. And then afterwards, then playing more conservatively. You can see Johnny Speeds don't want to give up any unnecessary fights. They want to force Partizan to come to them as they set themselves up for a push in towards the safe bomb site. All of Smoke's employed, but it's all just a distraction for now. Kendo probably going to drop the smokes, drop down these smokes in towards CT spawn. As we shift our focus in towards this B bomb site. Heap just jiggling at the moment, going to get some information that they are headed in this direction.
There's the Molotov, just to buy some time, see if he can hear anything off the back of it. He doesn't, and that's going to give them the opportunity. Oh, Svedgehead looks away at the wrong second. He tries to peek one out to find the kill, to find the trade, but will be unsuccessful. That's the site going to fall. And they've got a little bit of utility still in the bank for this post plant.
Why are we not planting the bomb?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Nopsy is going to commit to planting the bomb itself, giving Johnny Speed some extra time here to just try and close the gap a bit more. Draken is very low. Boost, again, going to be committed to. This time it does get them the kill, and surely you just call it a day here. I think if you're Sapik and Lekro, although Draken's not going to let them. He's standing in Nopsy's flames. Does that give Lekro a bit of a motivation to give this one a look in? It seems like he's just going to hold the line. If he gets a kill, then he probably commits. If there's nothing on offer, he'll save.
Yeah, no time, no kit, which is, it's unfortunate, but a little bit of a scrappy one. They are going to feed into him, but unfortunately, A-Kit is looking crispy right now. Should be able to get out of dodge. Yep, and there's going to be a first round on the board. They steal away at the bonus, so we're keeping it a little bit more hotly contested early on here. Good round to find. It comes off the back of just having a little bit more utility in the back pocket for that post plant, even if it takes them a while to actually get the plant down. And I say that there is a team Molly kill in the midst of all of that, so maybe having the extra utility wasn't the best thing in the world, but secures them the round. That's all you can ask for. They're still missing little bits and pieces going into this round, but if you have a look at the side of Johnny Speeds, they've got really either early round potential or a single attempt at a retake in the back pocket here.
Yeah. See how they go about their business. Quite a lot of space being offered up here by Johnny Speeds. Draken going to be the first point of contact. Good utility usage here from the T side, not taking any chances. And now they shift their focus in towards middle. Sapic's going to hear the drop downs coming through from them right now. And Draken has smartly repositioned to try and contribute to the defense in middle. Smoke should block him off, but he's going to try and get ahead of it. He finds that kill on Vladen. Could set Sapic up, who is good for a kill as well. Pre-fires to try and get the second player. Is going to round the corner. Draken is a madman. That is outrageous as he commits to the smoke. He was always going to go down, but he gets a kill before he loses his life. And now the flank from Svetch ahead. Going to activate. Oh, but he should have had that kill. He doesn't get that kill. Lekro does. And it's a 2v1 as a result.
Yeah, that's a wild peak from Draken, and it keeps some of the player advantage, but you can't help but feel maybe a 2-player advantage. Do you risk it or not? But now 2 versus 1. Bomb is on Kindo's back, but has no idea realistically where he wants to go. Both of these sites have a player, so wherever he chooses to head will have an isolated duel. The issue is no information to work with here, even using what limited util he has available. But Lekro, I think, is looking in the wrong way. Kindo should be able to find the pick, but Lekro turns around.
That's insane. I mean, Kindo gets the jump on him, but Lekro is still able to adjust and find the frag anyway. And I was a bit nervy for a second there. Thought the Kindo might have had a chance and thought that was a Sapic or Svedge ahead who missed the opportunity to get that kill with the big flank. It was Svedge ahead, right? He was the guy pushed through long doors. And I thought that might come back to actually haunt Johnny Speeds, but no, works out for them in the end. And it's going to be the Swedes who get back to winning ways, and that resets Partizan's economy. So straight back to eco territory for them.
Straight back to eco territory, and it's just more of a buffer that Johnny Speeds can put on the top of the scoreboard early on. Where are we looking to go? Early tunnels control has been established. Little resistance faced. Draken just on the scout this time. Firing off a couple of shots here through the smoke. It's going to warn them. Going to part the smoke, actually. Maybe that could be to his demise. He still manages to find one. Smoke re-blossoms. He's able to reposition.
Yeah, got some support as well. Himself and Sapic have combined in towards middle a couple times here already in the early stages of this half. Don't expect much from Partizan. I mean, they love some damage here at a minimum just to try and keep the economy honest for Johnny Speeds. A bomb plant, that would be ideal as well. Just going to group themselves up and try and breach in towards the safe bomb site. For the time being, it's actually only Heap who's here, but he's got an AK.
Oh, and he's got a dink immediately. Kindo gets one, but there's a trade, and there is assistance already here. Lekro firing on all cylinders today. Taps away. You're trying to duck your head, but there's not enough cover to save you.
Yeah, great rotation there from Lekro. I actually think that Heap overplays his hand after he'd been tagged down as low as he was. He's probably better off just staying tucked in on the ramp behind the box and letting Lekro cover the cross. I know it's a small detail, but that's the extra economic damage I was referring to for Partizan. Getting 2 kills, not a bad return. And it does mean that Draken, he's not going to have an AWP here. So maybe a bit of an easier time of it in that regard here for Partizan, who've got the AWP of their own.
Mercy, maybe, would be the word I would use, given how this has started. Aid kit is lining up for that first shot, but will not be presented an opportunity. Lovely HE there, Nopsy feeling the burn. Already a far better series from him individually. Unfortunately, he's got a difficult fight, and chipping away at the wall there isn't going to quite weasel out Sapak. He holds his nerve. Now Svedge ahead, getting into position for this double swing.
Oh, what a beautiful cross cover coming through from the T players as they go through the double doors. Frags found aplenty. It's only Lekro left, and they know exactly where he is. That's really well work coming through from Partizan. Lovely combination between Nopsy and Vladen covering one another. Complementary angles being held as they emerge through the mid doors, getting both of those kills. And that's... This one could be worth 3, you know, because you win this, you're going to play against a 4-spy in the next, you win that, anti-eco. So this is a really good opportunity here for Partizan to start to roll their way back into this game.
Absolutely necessary. Dragon with the final bullet of the round. Beautifully done. But, and it's also the fact that they keep so many alive. As we talked a little bit last month, the economic damage is only good if there is still time left in the series for it to matter. And we have plenty of time. We're still early in the half here. So there's plenty of time for them to try and make sure that even the rounds they're losing to Partizan, they try and make it expensive. Partizan done a pretty good job at humbling Johnny Speeds here. We've talked about how the AWP hasn't been online. Haven't been able to see that. Draken has been still pretty, good, all things considered, without it. But it's just a little bit of a detriment that they've been able to exploit with weaponry of their own. But 8kit's not even really been the pinnacle, the staple of what we've seen so far on this T side.
Yeah, true. It's just been the riflers who have been contributing for the most part here so far. He'll have his time, though. He'll have his moments, his opportunities, in particular in the second half, right? CT sides where you kind of look towards for your AWP a bit more, especially on a map like Dust. This is going to be as free as they come. I'm not sure, like, I think Partizan had one anti-eco on Overpass, maybe like super early on in the map, but outside of that, they didn't have many let-offs. Get one nice and early here on Dust to close the gap to just one round.
Yep. Close the gap to just one round, and there may not be anything realistically Johnny Speeds can do. There is a hunt going on. Nopsy's being sent to collect the debts the past couple of rounds here, actually. Johnny Speeds, there is a little bit of a lean over towards this. There's no kit, and I think we're in the territory that even, a last-minute jump on, but they could definitely try and punish. Unfortunately, so much control for so much of the round. They've carved themselves all of the exit paths they could ever need here for Partizan.
Yeah, nice flawless round coming through from them. This is going to settle them into the game, right? Keeping 5 players alive, showing some good shape, good form here on this T side so far, showing that this should be a competitive affair. Going to be a gun round to follow here for Johnny Speeds. AWP in play for Draken. Rifles across the board outside of that. And a chance for Johnny Speeds to keep themselves in control. Should they lose this gun round, though, then a dialogue deserves to be had.
Yep, it opens up a lot more questions here, and that CT economy is so punishing. They lose this, it opens a world of wonders for Partizan to really make this half hurt. Looks like super early fight gonna happen, but actually Molotov goes deep. That's going to buy Heap a little bit of time to set up, and Draken to peek mid. There's the opener, and now as they head back, as they head away from the doors that they were so rudely turned away from, they have to be so wary that that AWP is lingering somewhere.
Yeah, now they're on notice. Now they're aware that that threat is in play. How do they try and get back into the round from here is the question. 3 players grouped up on short. Nobody actually looking towards us right now for the CT side. They're just kind of relying on the utility to give them the information that they're going to have to peer back in this direction. Almost happy to just concede control entirely. They've gotten kills elsewhere, so now they can just shift their focus in towards, say, bomb site 5v3 on the retake.
Yep, 5v3 and everything they could want and more. A single HE for Dragon. That's all that they were going to have. I say work as it goes in, and it does a bit of damage to Sapek, but in the overall scheme of things, it's not a whole great deal. But Dragon's found the first pick. There's been nothing more to come of it, and they are holding down, they are bunkering down, weathering the storm. Nopsy's found another, and this has been a really thrown together haphazard retake. He can't find anything, and now just has to consider the idea of just leaving, because there's not the time.
Oh, Johnny Speeds are going to be kicking themselves. 5 versus 3. Partizan's still been able to kind of thread the needle onto that A bomb site without any resistance, and not even entirely sure why there wasn't somebody trying to contest them on the cross. They were super focused in towards long, but not for any good reason. There wasn't any pressure from the T side towards long at that point, and they end up ultimately paying the price by giving that pathway up onto the A bomb site for free.
Now 4-4 and the money isn't there. A lead to be taken. It is wide open and undefended, which raises some questions. We're now getting towards the end of the half and what that's going to mean for the scoreline going on to the T-side. Aid kit, spots an elbow, zooms in an extra time. Sapek, they ain't expecting him this close on up, finds the first. Has to be careful when he's trying to chase up that weapon, but unfortunately, there's a retreat, a recovered weapon, but it's not long-lived, should I say.
Yeah, Vladden's done really well to actually get out of dodge, and then he just drops the nade. He's able to find a kill. They've already found one player that's crossed onto the A-bomb side as well. Draken and Sapik, the two players left alive. Sapik gonna run through the smoke, but there's a firing squad on the other side of it waiting for him. A hail of bullets will lead to his demise, and they know that Draken was here a bit earlier on in the round. So yeah, let's just keep things nice and safe. No need to take unnecessary risks. They're going to path their way back through T-spawn in towards that vacant A-bomb site. So that means Partizan are going to get themselves a lead here, which will give them a really nice boost of confidence.
Yep. And they have the ability to go hunting for this. I think you send Kindo to go and plant the bomb, and then everybody else can just go hunting for this one last AWP. You know the money's not going to be great. You know that any damage you can do is perfect. And you know that there's pretty much no risk whatsoever to this. Aid Kit holding the line. Gotta be careful here, Draken. It's going to have to be an amazing swing. Oh, actually, Aid Kit looks away.
He's almost trying to hide in plain sight right now. I mean, normally you would go back to an extremity of the map to try and save your gun, but might actually have a better chance just hanging around in tunnels for the moment. I mean, he's going to be able to afford an AWP in the next round anyway, but he doesn't want to have to rebuy one, and more importantly, he could drop a rifle if he does stay alive here.
Exactly. But all three of these players, no one watching the bomb, everyone hunting for this, and they've narrowed down the options quite significantly, but luckily, only a couple more seconds needed. Oh, he's going to have been heard, tucking on in, hoping for the best. Through the wall, he gets an extra kill, and he will be allowed to keep hold of this AWP. And it is well earned there. It's at the back of an unfortunate situation. They get a really nice start to the round, but then it spirals pretty quickly. That's the thing, is that even when you do get a good start in these eco rounds, and just with these pistols, it's not guaranteed that you can spiral it into something more. The fact that you walk away with an AWP is probably the best case scenario.
Yeah, I think so too. Bit of pressure now on Johnny Speeds. I mean, this is Partizan's map pick, and we knew that they were always going to look a whole lot better here on Dust than what we saw on Overpass. It wasn't difficult to have an improvement, but it has been good to see them turn things around. Nopsy in particular, we didn't bang on him too hard, but he certainly did have a very difficult time on Overpass. Here on Dust, he's been far and away improved, which is good to see for the new addition to the team. Aid Kit, well, his life made a bit more difficult with that little chip damage inflicted. A little bit of a swipe in the back.
That's a bit of an unfortunate one, but it's, you know, it's going to be doubled down on. Heaps found the first. There's not a trade to be found. Utility going to go on over Sapek, just holding the line, trying to deter them from even looking at pushing B, and does so, at least for the time being. Have to wait for the flames to die down, and has the back up here with Svechhead.
This is a really important round for Johnny Speeds to make sure that Partizan don't actually start to tear too far ahead. And Dragon will be the first to fall. They've done pretty well in these 4v5 situations. I feel like they've won at least 2 of their rounds off the back of losing an opening pick. It might even be more than 2.
They have, and it feels like a backhand compliment, doesn't it? They're not been great in their opening rounds in the early game, but they've been able to spiral it back and bring it back under control. I think you're spot on with that one, but now a difficult one, because the line is being held here by Draken and the AWP, and there is reinforcements from Lekro not too far away here, but the smoke's going to make it a little bit more difficult.
Oh my goodness, Kindo the one to drop down in towards CT, looking like a live wire, does get shut down. Draken's lost his life in the meantime. Lekro desperately trying to hold on, but he's going to run out of ammo. And Partizan are doing it again. They're going to find full control of the same bomb site by going up short into A, getting the kills necessary. Not nearly as much resistance that was required there from Lekra and Draken. Aid Kit, I was going to say, where are you looking? But he's got a collateral? What? He was like looking into the corner of the wall for a moment, I guess playing anti-flash, but 1 shot required, 2 frags found. Partizan in complete control.
Yeah, the retakes haven't been looking good, and you said the 4v5 conversion rate is something else, and it has. Case and point again. And it's unfortunate because it looks like it starts so well there, but the footsteps give it away to 8-Kit. If you're silent there, maybe you get the drop on him. That's a whole other situation, but that noise giving away the sound cue, it's all over. And 8-Kit, we're not even 10 seconds into the round yet, my guy.
Yeah, and he's taken down the crown jewel on the opposite side as well. Draken already lost his life out. 8-Kit gonna try and trade Nopsy, but decides against it, probably smartly so. He's gonna have to commit through a smoke grenade. That probably would have led to his demise. Johnny Speeds desperately need this round, otherwise they're staring down the barrel of an 8-4 halftime scoreline.
Okay. He needs to be the hero here, needs something magnificent, and unfortunately being forced, displaced by that Molotov, isn't able to find a single kill. And now even more pressure put onto Lekro's shoulders. He's having to weather all of the utility to start with here. A little bit of an odd smoke there. Isn't going to stop him, but unfortunately it baits him into a false sense of security. 3 bullets fire out, one of them finds his head. And yep, just another save for these B-site anchors.
I mean, this was a 4-1 scoreline at one point, if you remember. 4-1 in favor of Johnny Speeds, but Partizan have just been able to clap back in super impressive fashion. Really good work coming through from them to get themselves up to this point. And it's just been like really good decision making, keeping things pretty simple as a unit as well, not over-committing, happy to take their time to build themselves into these rounds as well. Yeah, I really like what we gotten out of them so far. This has been great.
Yeah, this is a far cry from the cooling that we saw over on Overpass. And maybe that comes, we talked about it, there's been a change in IGL. Overpass, a map that they play, but it's not their most played by any scale of the imagination. Now that they're on a little bit more of a comfortable map on their map pick, it does look a lot more fluid.
Yeah, and it's good to see. I mean, especially with their backs against the wall. If you lose this map, then you're just out of contention. You're eliminated from Cup 3 at that point. So there certainly would have been a lot of pressure on their shoulders coming into this match, but they've completely been able to withstand the pressure. I really feel like Johnny Speeds need this last round of the half, you know, just to give themselves like a bit of an upward tick of momentum going into the second half, because if they go down 8-4 off the back of being up 4-1, I'm almost thinking like that could be game over.
It's a worrying sign at the very, very least. Smokes go out both ways. Kindo is still wanting to have a little bit of a nose about it. I'm loving this off angle from Lekro, but the issue is anyone even going to peek him? Mopsy has come back. He's toying with the idea. Yes, no, yes, no. Got a teammate up in tunnels, got teammates up on catwalk, so they can potentially use it, but I think just wants to regroup with his team's safety in numbers.
Another opening kill here. Kindo taken down. This time Johnny Speeds have to convert this opening kill into a round win, but there's nobody looking in towards tunnels right now. Does Vladden have the confidence to continue to commit to the push and figure out that there isn't anybody home? And he is edging his way forward right now. When do Johnny Speed start to peer back in this direction? They're so focused on middle.
It's a gaping void of information. A player's already crossed, and actually sound cue comes on now is a bit of a mercy to make them realize how in trouble they are. But they've already had to back off, so a retake on a site that is notoriously painful to retake on with limited utility. It's going to have to be super quick because they've used the last little bits all in one go. Lekro needs this fight in tunnels but isn't even expecting it.
Oh, I mean, we've seen how brutal the retakes have been so far for Johnny Speeds here on Dust 2, and it looks like this one is going to be along similar sort of lines. Great work from Vlad, and he was the one who lurked into the B-bomb site without giving any information away. Johnny Speeds had no idea what was going on. He calls for his teammates to rotate in that direction. It's going to be an 8-4 half, including 7 consecutive rounds there for Partizan.
I'll keep going till my speaker tone blows. I'll keep going till my speaker tone blows. I'll keep going till my till my speaker tone. I'll keep going till my speaker tone blows. 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 Going till my speaker tone blows. I'll keep going till my speaker tone blows. I'll keep going till my speaker tone blows. I'll keep going till my till my speaker tone blows. I'll keep going 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 till my speaker tone blows.
Off the back of a fantastic fight back from Partizan, they go up 8-4 on their T side. Johnny Speed's kind of languishing there, missing a lot of opportunities, and rounds they got opening kills, they had numerical advantages, weren't able to convert, and Affinity, I think it's safe to say that they need the pistol.
They need the pistol, or I'm smelling a third map on the horizon. Now or never. The CT side was what let them down, but Nopsy's already found an opening pick. Draken needs to be the difference maker. Gets the first, doesn't overextend, doesn't fall into the trap that has been set here by Partizan. And now crawling away, but Aid Kit waiting for him. Is going to spot both. Knows there's danger in all directions. So actually, it's just going to dip out. Tell his teammates, I've heard so much A. Go on, push long. Take a little bit of confidence space.
It looks like that's exactly what they're going to do. Just grouped up. They've got a smoke into flash on Svedge ahead as well. He's had a really tough game. Just 2 kills for him. 5 for Sapik, 5 for Heap. Need a lot more from those 3 players. The lesser experienced guys in the team, but certainly super familiar with this level of the game at this point. Partizan, in the meantime, have made some moves of their own, kind of got an idea of what's coming their way as they start to rotate in towards, say, bombs like Draken top mid, though, has found a kill, and he's going to continue to charge forward. Draken eventually does get felled, and now he's going to rely on his teammates to try and finish it off as they trade their way forward.
Lovely sequence there, but comes down to Lekro once more. Nopsy atoning for the sins of map 1 here. Smoke's going to be fading in a second. 20 seconds. That bomb has been dropped. I think just trying to win it out here, ducking and weaving. Nopsy, all you got to do is waste time. And Lekro needs to make a move. So much pressure right now. Just has to run this down, surely.
Counter-terrorists win.
Oh, wow. Again for Johnny Speeds, another round in which they get an opening kill that goes unconverted, and that one might be the most detrimental yet. Great work from Nopsy, 13-7. He's the top of the scoreboard on his team, at least. Draken top of the server. And at this point, yeah, I'm thinking this is their round. Once Lekra gets that onto the 2v1, but Nopsy says Nopsy.
Nopsy says Nopsy indeed. Aid Kit has got a scout here, not quite able to afford the real deal, but Draken's not much better. It's the one proper gun they have in this round. There's a little bit of a tussle, and he does come out slightly victorious, but it's still not a pick. There it is, another tag goes both ways. So no actual death shed just yet, but they need to move towards the site, and unfortunately this little bit of a hassle they've dealt with in mid has given all the time in the world for a nice little setup for Partizan.
Yeah.
Would you like Mirage? Would you like Mirage, Hayes?
I love Mirage. I'm a super big Mirage enjoyer. I think it might actually be my favorite map, you know. I feel like people either just straight up love or hate Mirage. Doesn't really seem like there's much in between. Are you on the opposite side of the spectrum to me?
No, I quite like Mirage. I was going to say, it's a good thing, because every round we seem to be getting closer and closer to Mirage.
We're absolutely trending in that direction right now, and doesn't look like that's going to be changing here. Nopsy locking it down towards Long. 3 kills out the FAMAS, 1 from the USP. Can't get the ace. Draken will deny. But it's inconsequential in the grand scheme of things. No more economic damage going to be inflicted. And that's now, what, 9 rounds in a row for Partizan?
Yep. They were 4-1 down. Unfortunate. Very unfortunate. The fact that Nopsy's able to switch to the sidearm there. Absolutely incredible scenes.
Yeah, great work from him, man. 10-4, 3 rounds away from finishing off the job. Johnny Speeds on the brink of losing Dust 2 in pretty dominant fashion, almost equally as dominant as they won on Overpass.
Yes. I mean, gotta give the caveat this is their map pick, but still, from what we saw in map 1, this is not anywhere near the same wavelength that they seem to be on. They were on a very sort of distorted wavelength last map. It's looking a lot cleaner. Everyone is communicating a lot better. The plans seem a lot clearer. The direction as well seems a lot less aimless as opposed to Overpass.
It's just really cool to see how Partizan have been able to put behind them what had happened on Overpass and come back all guns blazing here on Dust. And oh, good lord, Johnny Speeds are going to put all their eggs in one basket. And you know what? Vladen is the one who's going to try and poke some holes into that basket. See if he can get some eggs to break on the floor here. Going to try and break open some heads as well. It's a great flashbang though. He's completely blinded. He's going to stay on top and not spotted by the first player on entry duty. But it's okay because the second player filtering through will get that kill. And that should just be round over, I reckon.
Yeah, you can see it already a back away. We talked about eggs in one basket. Well, they've cooked us up a lovely little omelette, and the first round in about 10 that they've got. So, I say in about 10, in 10 rounds.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
It's so little, so late, and it's going to need to be an immediate answer back. But the issue is the early call to save here. 4 weapons, and somebody, if not Vladen, somebody will be able to buy Vladen.
Yeah, it means
so it's not even like they've got leniency.
Exactly. It's not like they're going to get any easier round to follow here. Even afterwards, there'll still be some residual cash. So, as you suggest, it's going to be a long road back here for Johnny Speeds to try and get themselves into a competitive position. At least they've won this round, though. Finally breaking that streak. What's your go-to omelette? Are you an omelette enjoyer?
I'm an omelette enjoyer, but I don't make myself omelettes very often. But I'm just I'm a ham and cheese. Ham and cheese,
yeah.
You know? Bog standard. What about you?
Probably go for bacon. I'd definitely throw some tomato in there. Maybe chop up some onions, just fry them up before I put them into the omelette.
I mean, I need it to be known. I've just come off the back of being a uni student for 3 years, so
okay.
Don't expect my diet to expect a uni student diet, you know.
I've been past that life for a while. I'm not one of those crazy people that puts like brinjals and pesto on their omelette or something like that though. Like there's some really weird.
Sacrilege. Sacrilege.
Right?
Oh, talking of sacrilege, Draken's got another pick with the scout here. Kindo, that could be a very nice ladies lining up, but actually decides just to holster it for a second. It does go in, but it is going to be minuscule damage.
Yeah, good opening kill found from him. Draken kind of a one-man army at the moment here for Johnny Speeds. Nopsy decides to go searching as a result of an opening frag found for the T side, and he gets a kill back. That's such a good bit of game sense on display from him, recognizing that, yeah, maybe this is my moment to make a bit of a play to bring it back into even keel. Activates, gets a frag, and then doesn't overcommit either.
Okay, very silent. Sapek leading the charge. Have the opportunity here to have a little bit of a crunch. Smoke's got for both sides there, so they are just going to filter up Catwalk instead. The illusion trying to convince them they don't know where they're going to be going, but Sapek's got one. Nopsy, though, so much better. Dragon's got one, and now it all comes down to Svedgehead. Ducking and weaving finds the first. May be able to get a bomb plant down here, and now it's just a 1v2.
Bomb plant valuable. That's some extra money. Could push them over the edge in terms of investment in the next round. Can he find a way to win the clutch? It's a great spray to get the kill on Vlad, and doesn't seem to have clocked Dragons there as well. Maybe now has an inkling. Both players fairly low, but Svedgehead more so. Now he does spot Dragon on the jump up. Dragon going to try and set himself up with the flashbang. Svedge hugging the boxes right now. Dragon realizes that, so he'll just hold the line, wait for the peek, get the kill, and Partizan immediately back to winning ways.
Yep, and there's money in the tank, but it certainly feels like Mirage is a certainty at this point. Just too much of a chasm to claw back, and only one round. We needed that one round victory to be the springboard for more, right? It can't just be one and done. It needed to be a little bit more. Break the economy of Partizan to give yourself a leg back into this, but no, all you do is you get one round and you drag on the suffering a little bit longer. Maybe if they can find this, they can amount to something, but I think it's now or never. Ooh, utility, I think that just clipped on the wall there. It's going to give them the opportunity to take this long control. Lovely advanced position from Dragon, though. This could hurt.
I mean, this should certainly be catching them off guard. But now he's been spotted, and means that he's going to have to fall back, and he'll be able to get out with his life intact. So that's nice for him. Not like he has to pay with his life for that little excursion.
Okay. Smoke's going to fade. Now long is clear. Heap's got an AWP on hand here, but whether anyone gives them the opportunity or wants to peek this, there's the opportunity. Kindo's got one. HE to go over the top, and they're just going to sit on their hands here. They don't need to be proactive. They've got everything they could want and more, but Lekro steps up, but only for one. Now Noxy, a little bit of a window here. Sapek somehow finds the kill, but it's instantly traded, and he, low health on the AWP, gets one. Surely they don't let him get anything more than this. They can hear the scopes.
Yeah, it's going to be an impossible 1 versus 2 for him, especially with Dragon in this advanced position. Does kind of compromise his position, though. Vladim's taking damage, but it's not going to be enough to lose his life at 12-5. This has been a dominant performance from Partizan. What a way to respond after the way they lost on Overpass, looking hapless over on that map. Nopsy, a great turnaround from him. I mean, he had a phenomenal round in the previous, right? Just some great decision-making, 20 kills to his name, and 7 opportunities here for Partizan to finish off the job.
And in the form they're playing right now, I do not see there being a world that it requires all 7 for this map to be close. And I'm glad that you're a Mirage person, and I hope the wonderful people at home watching this are also Mirage fans, because it is, the omen is already there. Aid Kit having a little bit of an early look. No one's going to be there, because again, it's a lean over towards this A site.
This is going to be their best opportunity to finish off the job as well. Partizan got far superior weapons coming into this round compared to the Galils and Desert Eagle in play for Johnny Speeds, who've just not really gotten going here on Dust 2 at all. Gonna try and breach through a smoke, but they flashed over the top, not through the doors. Nopsy up close to that smoke, goes unimpeded. 2 frags for free. Sapik dropped as well. Looks like the end is just around the corner. Only a couple players left, not for much longer. Draken, 1 versus 3. They know where he is. The writing is on the wall, and Mirage is what it spells.
And even if you back away here, they've got insurance. Vladen waiting just in case he tries something sneaky with that minute left on the timer. He will not be allowed. There it is, the peek. He does find the pick, and that's going to open up the back door and a world of possibilities. A1S recovered. Actually decides to hang around, maybe trying to sell the idea that he's going around the world to be. Where the Partizan bite is another matter, but right now doesn't look like they are going to budge an inch.
And they're not. And that's going to be enough for A-Kid to finish off the job with the AWP. A quiet map from him, but that's just because he was surplus to requirements. 13-5 was the same scoreline on Overpass. Partizan answer back emphatically on their map pick of dust as they've leveled up the series.
They have indeed. And now we've seen a map go sort of heavily one-sided in both directions. I think it's only fair that we have a third map to really decide which of these teams can dig deep and lock in for this final map. I'm interested. We talked about how the veto very much leans in the favor of Johnny Speed, but that Mirage was going to be the question mark because Partizan have way more reps on an ever so slightly better win rate. So the fact that it's gone 3, suddenly I'm not feeling so great about my prediction, but we will have to see. We're going to head to a short break and we'll be back very soon to close out this series.
The road to the top is a riddle. What will be my destiny? Money and fame are awaiting, but not enough is raining on me. Maybe I should give it all up. How much more can I take? Out here singing to the heavens. When I gonna get my break? I can run this town. Oh. I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, how will I get out of the jungle? Everybody wanna stop me. 10 more steps up the mountain. Now everybody's looking for me.
This is a shake.
just like it's takeout. Show me you got soul inside those new shoes, and you can rock and roll with an attitude. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. You're the new MC, you got the remix. Keep it on repeat, just let the beat kick. Everywhere you go, you bring a roof down. Everybody knows you got your own sound. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, yeah, you like it, the way you like it now. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, so good, so fresh. Get up on your feet. Show me you got soul. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. The way you like it. Just the way you like it. The way you like it. So good, so fresh. Get up on your feet, this is a shakedown.
A third and final map required between these two teams to settle the score and see who will progress through to the lower bracket final and who will be eliminated at this particular hurdle. It's going to be Mirage to settle the score, and I'm really looking forward to this map. We've had a couple blowouts so far, Affinity, but I've got a sneaky suspicion that this one could deliver a closer affair.
Oh, it very much could. And I'm curious to see here, actually, because you said it's been a blowout kind of both ways. This is a map that even keel a little bit more so in terms of, numbers on paper. Now, there's a lot more repetitions. There's been a lot more instances played for Partizan in the past 3 months. In fact, it is a ridiculous number. They've played Mirage 34 times in the past 3 months in officials alone. Now, they've only got a 44% win rate. Both of these teams sitting around that 40%, which means one of them's got to win. One of them's going to bolster that number a little bit. But I'm hoping that we don't see a blowout for this final map, that we're on even territory, that we're in home turf for everybody. And maybe a little bit of a worry on that one is that going from Overpass, which feels like one of those kind of extraneous specialist maps, right, onto Dust 2, which is a lot more common ground for everyone. We're going on to Mirage, which is even more common ground. It seemed that when we were on these Puggier maps that everybody knows, it just seemed that Partizan were looking better.
Yeah, that's true, which could kind of bode well for them going into a map of Mirage's nature. I mean, we've seen really good highs from both these teams. We've seen pretty rough lows from both of these teams as well, which leaves me a little bit worried. Like, what do we even expect going into the third map? We've seen Partizan have been able to bounce back off the back of a loss. Can Johnny Speeds do that now as well? Backs against the wall, pressure going to be on. They would have been feeling super good about themselves going into Dust 2, right? But after being 4-1 up in particular, then they just win one more round from there. So got to kind of wonder where they're at mentally coming into this next map as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions and we don't necessarily have the answers just yet. But I think given the amazing lock-in, the amazing comeback that we saw from Partizan, it is only right this goes 3. This is, of course, the lower bracket as well. Do or die in this tournament because as if maybe you haven't seen how ECL has switched up in recent months, is that the new format for Season 50 is that there are 4 cups and they are double elimination bracket. Now, only the winner goes forward into the regional final. So there is a maximum of 4 teams in that regional final who will compete for the single spot in Pro League. And I'd say that the 4 teams maximum, if the same team wins more than 1 cup, they have a less competition that they will have to face in that regional final. But as of yet, and looking at the teams remaining in this tournament, we will crown a new victor in just a couple of days' time.
Yeah, and then we can add to the teams that are going to be competing in the EU finals in a couple of weeks' time. We've got BC Game, we've got Parivision already, and then like you said, we can have some new blood injected into the mix as well. My money's on ESC. That's not a guarantee, though. I mean, you can make a case for basically all of the teams left in the competition. I think ESC are definitely the favorites, but could go many different ways. And I'm just, I'm excited to see who's going to be able to make it happen. Of course, a spot at Pro League is ultimately what's up for grabs for all of these teams. And man, I mean, all these teams would desperately love that shot, wouldn't they?
Oh, absolutely. It's a chance to play with the best. It's that foothold. We talked about how, tier 2, tier 2.5, that is realistically the first real step towards that tier 1 sort of caliber, that tier 1 notoriety. So the fact that there's only one spot for the entirety of Europe for the entire season is kind of wild and everyone wants it. So, going out now, it's a shame there's still one more cup after this, but chance is still available for both of these teams to try and contend. And it all starts with this penultimate pistol round.
Indeed. Having a look at the T side of Smoke, a flash and a P250 on Draken, and then quite a lot of utility for the CT side. 2 smokes, 2 flashes, Julies, 2 sets of Julies. How many players have got armor? Okay, 3 of them. Quite surprised to see that. Normally, maybe 1 player would settle for dropping some guns and getting some utility, but they got 2 players without Kevlar here.
Yeah. I will be curious to see if that's gonna be too impactful. It's actually managed to take a lot of space here. Aid kit has ramp, swings to the fight, finds it, now has the ability to just turn his attention back. Isn't quite able to save Nopsy, but is able to avenge his death. But Draken, a swing around the corner is mighty. And there they go. They clean up house. Vladen shown his hand, shown his location, running on forward to try get within doable range with these Julies. And Ooh's just not going to be allowed to find anything. Chipping away, but just needs to find the actual finishing blow. And here it is, going to be caught on the reload potentially, but actually Sapek not going to peek that from window.
Honestly, just brilliant work here from Johnny Speeds. Once they get things going in the round, it's very difficult for Partizan to regain any sort of semblance of control. Vladen desperately seeing if he can make something happen, but the time ticking away and the fact that he doesn't have a kit right now really does just make this straight up impossible. And yeah, although he does get a couple of kills here, as he's going to look to try and save the Julies and the Kevlar, the point does go the way of Johnny Speeds. It is a good way for them to kick off here on Mirage.
Yep, all 10 fatalities. No one will be allowed to save any pesky Julies in this round. And, you know, they're probably kicking themselves that they couldn't have found a round a little bit sooner. They had a really difficult dry spell over on Dust 2, but a good way to kick themselves off. You got to give credit where it's due for being able to live that long, because I was like, surely we see, you know, Sapek peak and deal with this. And the fact that you managed to wipe out everyone, it's minute, but it's the small details. They're at least making it a little bit closer. Also means that mid is going to be completely unchecked for now, and Johnny Speeds are not going to let this opportunity go to waste.
Yeah, see if Partizan can answer back. M4 in play on Dragon, most notable weapon at the disposal of the Partizan team coming into this round.
Oh, you're doing the scout disservice here.
I love the Scout as Nexus as much as the next person does, but I'd still pick the M4 over the Scout myself.
I mean, being tactfully well, but I think you might have a point. They've got the whole of mid. They've got so many options available to them. That A site is looking particularly weak. Now, they don't know that we've got the eyes in the sky, but as they head towards it, you do start to have a little bit of a smile in the corner of your mouth. Nopsy spotted a shoulder there, but now has to figure out where he wants to go. He's so eager to chase down this kill that he's completely left site unattended. Dragon's not going to be able to peek this and doesn't want to peek this solo, and still, Nopsy's conflicted about where to go.
Bomb has been planted.
Yeah, Dragon finally going to emerge in towards CT. Bit of a double peek, slightly disjointed, but Svedgehead gets the trade and then drops that key M4. Nopsy with this position in towards ramp right now, not finding anything on offer. So the fact that Johnny Speeds have kind of been able to get all this control without having to deal with Nopsy made life so much easier for them. Eventually he's forced to kind of commit forward, but that's not going to work out for him. Johnny Speeds weathering the storm against the Force Buy as they got 2-0.
Yeah, Aid Kit may be unable to save this scout. I mean, look at the emphasis they're putting on this. Sapek's even flanking going around the world, but he's got a handle on it. Lovely round from them to dispatch of this Force Buy, put the economic situation in serious doubts here for Partizan, kick themselves off pretty nicely and very cleanly. I'm interested because I know it's very early, but there's already been a little bit of a precedent set that they're so eager for this CT ramp control here, Partizan.
Yeah, it's something we're going to keep a close eye on to see how they're going to be approaching that part of the map going forward. Not going to be a huge amount to get excited about in this one, I don't imagine. I mean, they have got some upgraded pistols to work with, and they've looked pretty good with the Deegs in some of these rounds throughout the series, but Johnny Speeds, it's just, I think it's really important that you get off to a good start after you completely crumble on a map, just to make sure that those, like, cracks don't start to creep into the following map. You know, like the emotions probably would have been running quite high. You would imagine that they'd be quite disappointed with the way that Dust 2 played out. And then if you start poorly on the map straight afterwards, then those frustrations can kind of bleed into the third map. So getting off to a good start just gives them a good clean slate here going into this third and final map.
Yeah, exactly. It bleeds in. It starts to sour the tone already, and then you sabotage yourselves a little bit on the mental. But no, good start and an opportunity here to get a third on the board. But that's exactly how the first map started. Lovely round lead, and then everything kind of fell apart. So I'm not going to hold my breath about it too much. But certainly looking good, and there's a lot of pace on this. Nopsy holding on, but unfortunately is just going to be overrun. There's a lot of eyes, a lot of attention on this site, but one by one they will fall. The nade claims another victim. Electro decides to fire directly down. Headshot, can't miss it if the only thing you see on your screen is the top of their head. And now Just Dragon, not for long. Clean up on Isle Partizan, and a third round secured, albeit no resistance really to be put up there, but it's good that they are doing their due diligence nonetheless.
Yeah, that's nice and clean as we now head into the first gun round. An opportunity for them to continue to build on the strong start. An opportunity for Partizan to open up their account. They've got the AWP and aid kit. All the rifles they'd require outside of that. What's the game plan going to look like here?
Let us see. Veg ahead. Not going to be able to spot anything, but having just a little bit of a look there. No one's going to be aggressing over towards apps, but they're throwing a lot of util in towards it. Unfortunately, all of the util expended just a little bit too early. That smoke, however, might hold them at bay. Alternatively, they've all the util in the world just to disrespect this.
Oh, okay, well, it's a fantastic defense being set up over on the speed bomb site right now. Vladden and Dragon combining in emphatic fashion. The speed bomb site's a fortress. Johnny Speed's barely even able to see the light of day out of apartments. Draken is a dead man. That was inevitable. And a pretty stern test over towards that B bomb site, but Partizan don't even break a sweat.
No, and it's the best that you can say here is it's a little bit of limit testing for Johnny Speeds, right? That they realize that the B site may not have the most people, but it's a pretty ironclad defense there. It's the fact that Vladden gets 2 through the smoke, immediately disrupts the play, and instead of pulling back, they decide to push on forward, and unfortunately there's even more waiting arms on the other side. But T-side economy, they've won a couple of rounds. They're going to be able to buy right back into this. Draken on the AWP, which we haven't seen all too much of last map. Goes 1 for 1, and the AWP is going to hit the deck, but there is at least a trade. Aid kit, though, AWP of their own, still singing in this round.
Yeah, but it's going to be Heap and Svedje who are able to find some devastating entry kills over on that A-bomb site. My goodness, making super light work of the 2 players that were there. Aid Kit's AWP is going to be able to sweep forward for a kill back, but do they even want to attempt the retake from here? I mean, look at how far away Vladden is. I feel like this is one of the moments where you just have to kind of concede the round from here.
I'd still be wanting to try hold on to this AWP, and the further Aid Kit pushes, the more danger he finds himself in. Now I think is going to be that peel back, but so it hurts a little bit, concede a 4th, but 4-1 was the scoreline that we saw to start off Dust 2, was it not?
Yeah, that's true, actually. Johnny Speeds are going to be hoping that doesn't cause any, like, trauma here for them.
Flashbacks, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Back to Nam.
Back to Nam. Now, round 6, it's going to be a little bit messy. I feel like there's going to be a little bit of utility missing. Actually, you know what? Not too much to write home about. Nopsy is going to favour that A1S over the FAMAS, though. Nade kit. I'm a little bit concerned. There's only 2 kits for the team, which usually I wouldn't say is too much of an issue, but given how quickly Johnny Speeds has been getting onto these sites and how much it's been coming down to retakes, it does raise some queries in my mind.
Partizan are a team that like to make moves on their CT side. They generally don't sit back too idly. And you can see that here with the push being made through apartments right now, and Aid Kit kind of hanging around on catwalk, but as the time ticks on, that internal clock of his will sound the fact that he's probably best just falling back at this point. Good default shot from Johnny Speeds, able to get themselves some control, and Aid Kit's just been tapped out of the round. Sapik with 1 bullet fired finds a frag. And that's going to afford them a lot more space to breathe in towards middle. Another big moment here between Lekro and Kindo. Elevated angle for Lekro, catches Kindo. Round set up beautifully here for Johnny Speeds, but we saw how much they struggled to convert their advantageous positions and opening kills on Dust. They can't afford for that to bleed into Mirage here as well.
Yeah, that was, we talked about it, the 4v5s, and it shouldn't be as winnable as it was. Dragon, lovely position here. There is a little bit of a look back occasionally, but if they don't get a move on, whole world and more has been spotted. Attention's going to be turned, and there's nobody on site that can peek to capitalize off of the distracted, wandering crosshairs. Bomb will go down. Nopsy decides, nope, I'm getting out of here. And I think definitely the right call to be made, looking at how much is in the bank and how little they have left to try convert anything at all in this round. Not even going for exits.
Great return to form for Johnny Speeds after losing a round, just to make sure that it's not like Partizan now claw their way back and start to close the gap. Love the way that Johnny Speeds go through their motions and processes. You can see how much this team, how hard they've worked to just get everybody on the same page. Their defaults just seems to transition so seamlessly through the different stages in the round. That initial stage to contest the control, try and get yourself into middle, and then from there get some deeper positional control, getting Lecro connector. You know, it's Hipu or Sapek who finds that opening kill into AK that really gives them breathing room. And then always a game plan. It's never like it feels like they end up in a position where it's like, well, what are we going to do from here? And then it's just individual plays to try and win the round. There's always some really good cohesion in these rounds from Johnny Speeds.
Yeah, very much so. The cohesion was definitely missing on Dust 2. We saw Overpass, so it's not completely out of the left field, but it has been a very sort of Whiplash-esque kind of series with how the momentum has been shifting and who's really been looking on form. And I said that coming onto this really is kind of home turf. Partizan, they've had good results. They've got a lot of reps on it. So the fact that they've got so many reps and we're not quite seeing that on the CT side. But I think their T-sides they've been looking at definitely a lot stronger today than the CT. But you really can't afford to let too much slip early on. And talking to letting it slip early on, what a shot from Draken to open this up.
I mean, he still got it, right? He has still absolutely got it. I think that Draken could keep up with like a tier 1.5 team without much of a problem. Like, he has just individually been brilliant for actually months now. It's not like this is just a return to form for him. He's been the best player on Johnny Speeds for a while at this point. So good to watch him operate as well. Looking super sharp mechanically.
Yeah, unfortunate situation. Again, we can sing the praises of how much they converted 4v5s on the previous map. We've just not seen that yet. But gotta start at some point if they want to win the series, if they want to keep their ECL Cup 3 dreams alive. HE to blow open the smoke. Lecro is going to get caught unaware. Heap is there for a quick trade. Isn't able to find the second two tucked in. But unfortunately, that B bomb site's going to fall. You can see the rush on over trying to help. They're going to clear out the site. They're going to put the Molotovs in to stop anybody really having too much to say about stopping that bomb going down. But still going to get the bomb down, and Dragon wants to push this. Pushes through the Molotov, pushes through the flashes, maybe ill-advised. Svedgehead deals with it masterfully, and I think these two remaining players, again, just have to back off and save.
Yeah, honestly, felt like he was maybe getting a bit ahead of himself and ahead of the team there by committing forward while his teammates were still trying to get in towards market at that point. So maybe a little bit unnecessary there, but Johnny Speeds, they're not going to mind as they now go up 6-1. That's another gun round going their way. A variation from them off the back of that opening kill, then pathing their way into towards that B bomb site where they struggled to breach earlier on in the half, but this time they find success. And they're running away with this game. I mean, we spoke about how we've had a couple blowouts already, and currently Mirage is trending in that direction.
This has been a all-round difficult to predict series, I think it would be fair to say. It has, you know, that map one, how Partizan were playing was something extraordinary, but not in necessarily the most positive way. And then immediately the switch up on Dust 2, they look so much cleaner, and Johnny Speeds just couldn't find anything. And now on this third map, we've sort of seesawed back again. The weaponry's online, but Nopsy, I'm getting a little bit worried, is falling back into old habits. And going to need to see the individual step up a little bit, because in my mind, this is the round that they need to win to reinvigorate my hope. And a miss Molotov like that is not going to be the sign of life we're looking for.
I am right there with you, though, that this is the round Partizan have to win. I mean, they've had a number of gun rounds as well. It's not like their economy's been broken. They've always kept players alive in the rounds that they're losing, so that then affords these reinvestments consistently. So it's not been a problem of them not having weapons up until this point, which is almost more damning. But lose this one, 7-1, if you don't get a rebuy in the next. It's anti-eco, 8-1. Game could even be too far gone at that point, so a lot riding on this one, and Johnny Speeds... they're just going to go for a big execute into the safe bomb site, and Partizan not awfully poised to deal with it.
No, they are not. There's a lot of bodies here, but they're not particularly mobile towards where the action's going to be. Svedgerhead's already on site, already cleared out Hell, already cleared out Ninja. They've got the whole site and an immediate back away. Partizan aren't even going to try and fight for it. The utility overwhelms. Bomb goes down. So much time for the postcards. 5 versus 5 and more util available. Heap does find the opening pick, and now they all funnel in towards CT, and unfortunately that's a very flat attempt at trying to get the site back.
Nice nade for a bit of chip damage, but it's still going to be a very difficult retake from here. 4v5, it feels like they have to roll the dice because they've been saving a lot, so they are going to commit themselves forwards. Fedgehead times his peak to perfection. In the meantime, Lekro's just taking names, taking heads. Vladden should get the kill back, and he does. So at least he'll be afforded his life, but it's not even a silver lining at this point, Affinity. It's just, what, like a grey lining, I guess?
It's a lining of some description. It's very, you know what, I'd liken it to cling film, I think.
Yeah.
Where it's very thin, it's very see-through, but I guess it's still there. And we can talk about, you know, on the rounds that they have been trying to bring it close. Again, economic damage only is meaningful if it's in the long run, but they haven't even had that. Like, Heap's on 12k in the back pocket. There's not really too much that we can sing about here. They've got guns in their hands again, and you know what, I'll say this is I need them to reinvigorate my hope that it's not over till it's over. I'm usually a Copium fan. I'm a believer till the end, but I've got my doubts. Aid kit might line up this first shot. Ooh, Lekro. If even a pixel is shown, he is done. But actually, it doesn't look too eager to press towards this site. And I think the lack of information that Partizan have been given early round has been hurting them.
Yeah, true. Feels like Johnny Speeds have been doing a really good job at finding opening kills before they actually commit in any direction, and then from there, just able to bully whoever's left on the bomb site. And again, it's going to be back in towards mid. Partizan offering up quite a lot of space right now, maybe going into a bit of a shell with the way the game's been playing out. Aid kit, no way, Svedge ahead. He'd jiggle that angle maybe a dozen times, and there'd been no one there, but he's still phenomenally aware as he does peek out that 13th time, and he takes Aid Kit's head.
I mean, if at first you don't succeed, flash to go over the top. There are a lot of eyes watching this, but honestly, Lekro's just a distraction, but the distraction seems to be doing so much heavy lifting. Does only find one, but has so convinced them away from rotating that B site, by the time that the bomb goes down, by the time they even realize what's up, it's already too late. And there's no kit available either. So I guess this one might just be another save.
Yeah, it's just indicative of how good Johnny Speeds have been doing in terms of actually getting on the bomb sites, never really losing many players in the process. So it's always like, if Partizan are going to roll the dice on the retake, it's always going to be with a numerical disadvantage. Never really been able to get ahead of the game either, right, with their rotations. Never really, like, kind of had a good idea of what's coming their way in the round before the hit actually comes through from Johnny Speeds. So they've really struggled to try and set themselves up accordingly.
This is getting dangerous, because even 4 at the half here for Partizan, if they can somehow muster that much, is not a great CT side. And I said that their T side was looking a little bit better today, but on Mirage, a map that is, at least statistically, so even at the moment, and is even for both of these teams, I think that we're getting towards the point of no return. It needs to be a flawless rest of this half for us to even consider the possibility. But, you know, where there's a will, there's a way. They've got guns again, I guess. but Dragon immediately forced back. They have the space to take mid if they want it. Over towards apartments, they're just pressuring all over the place here.
Yeah, you can see that Johnny Speed's almost in that flow state at the moment with the way that they're going about their business.
They've not given anything over for Partizan to work with here. Not an opening pick, not even a peek that they could try and exploit. Not even so much as information to work off of. So you can see that they're moving pieces a little bit of a poke and prod, but they've not spotted anything. And by the time they do see first contact, it's Heap and has already found one.
Yeah, another opening kill. Feels like they've just had that luxury afforded to them in all of these rounds. What's the response from Partizan? Is there any? It feels like there has to be some sort of a response here. It's going to be Dragon trying to go through apartments, but that's exactly the direction Johnny Speeds are headed in right now. He's going to be tucked into the corner. Problem is there's 3 players coming this direction. It's Fetch ahead. Just running and gunning. Doesn't even look like he counter-strafed there. Oh, Partizan. This is pretty much as bad as it gets, I'm afraid.
Kindo's putting up one hell of a final stand, but will be punished on the reload. And it's a good showing in this moment, but it's already past the point that this is winnable. Bomb goes down, Fladden's on the other side of the map, and whilst there's a kit, there's a single Molotov, and that is not doing anything to try and win you favors here. Nobody, ooh, spotted ahead on the jump peek, but I think was spotted in return. A lovely peek out from Draken. A 9th already, they're not slowing down. A little bit of an individual standout moment there from Kindo with 2 is the only reason that that isn't just a wipeout.
Yeah, Kindo does his damnedest, right? That's something I was talking about, that they really haven't had that luxury of somebody kind of holding their own as the anchor on the bomb site to inflict as much damage as possible before they lose the bomb site. But still doesn't even make much of a difference at the end of the day. This is ugly at this point now for Partizan, I'm afraid. Like you said, Nopsy kind of getting flashbacks of Overpass, where you went like 1 for 16, I think, on the map, then had a fantastic Dust 2, now 10 rounds deep into the game, and he's still yet to get a kill. I mean, we just had like the best out of him and the worst with nothing in between.
Yeah. It's difficult, and I always say, when people say, oh, you must love casting, you know, 13 1s, 13 3s, right? It's so quick, you get to go early night, right? And it's like, no, because it's so difficult in situations like this to try find something more to say. We sound like broken records because Partizan have been losing the opening duels. By the time somebody individually steps up, it's too late. And there's the opening pick yet again. It has gone from bad to worse, catastrophic here. And there it is, Nopsy gets his first kill of the game, but it is one and done. A-Kit just has to back off. There's a smoke, there's everything they could ever want for this. And in fact, they're just going to go for the kills. They're not even going to plant the bomb.
Bomb has been planted.
Yeah, like you're saying, I think catastrophic is the perfect word to use for what we've seen so far here for Partizan. This is now game over. Like, if there's 9-3 for me is the old 12-3 scoreline where it didn't really matter what the map was. If you were able to get a 12-3 scoreline, it still always felt like you were somewhat in the contest.
12-3, that's generous.
Would have been that. Yeah.
Zone
I mean, it's like at the
11-4.
bare minimum. Yeah. But 12-3 for me was like, at the bare minimum, it still felt like you were maybe in the contest. Here, if you get double digits in the first half of CS2, it's like, that just call it a day at that point. Yeah, it should be.
And Johnny Speeds have been a little bit better on the pistol rounds, which have even more weight in CS2 now than they did in Go back in MR15. And it's not even like they need to win the next pistol. The likelihood here is, with so little utility, they will have so many map points to play with.
Yeah, exactly. Can they go one step further? Can they get themselves the 11-1 scoreline? Feels like it shouldn't make much of a difference at the end of the day anyway.
Ooh, okay. That's new.
A rarity. An opening kill. Yeah, I like it from Dragon, dropping down and towards lowers, trying to take the round by the scruff of the neck.
Okay, there's the trade. And we said converting on 4v5s. This time they've got to convert on the 5v4. Please give yourselves a lifeline here. There's a single HE, and that's a little bit of a worry here because edge ahead. Oh, there's the pick. There's the HE goes down, and it's going to be just so much room to work with. They've got the map control off the base of the fact that there's nobody left alive to have it instead. They're doing their due diligence. They're still smoking off top mid because they're not sure where these last players are. But the issue is, because these have been isolated instance fights, right? They don't know where the bulk of the players are. 2 players still over towards A, so Kindo is going to need something otherworldly if they want to find anything to try close out this half.
Let's see, can he get it? No, he just hard clears it. You were talking about what an effort was required there from Kindo. Not even able to inflict a single point of damage. I feel like Johnny Speeds has just been so switched on here in all of these moments, all of these instances. They're just not getting caught off guard.
Yep, they have not been caught slacking, not once. The health bars here, if we were to say, the health bars look a little less healthy, worse for wear, but at this point, does it really matter? There's no kit available. Svedge ahead is going to spot one. Oh, I was going to say sitting ducks for the taking. It is going to take keep. Actually, gets kill stolen there. But now it's just a matter of who can find this final pick. A matter of padding the stats here. Heap wants it, but Svedge ahead denies. 11-1. An absolutely insane half in this final map of the series.
I don't think we're going to be here for much longer, I'm afraid. 11-1. What a dominant display coming through there from Johnny Speeds. In complete control of this third and final map in the Ascendancy. They require just 2 rounds to get themselves into that lower bracket final.
That they do. Pistol rounds have been looking pretty clean for them as well, so it's not exactly the most hopeful situation, but a pistol round would be a tiny life raft in a vast ocean of trying to bring this back. But lost the pistol, that's going to be done and dusted, especially if they can't even get a bomb plant down. But if buts and maybes, let's take a look at what's actually going to happen. Nopsy speed up catwalk. Issue is they've got some problems to deal with on site. Svedge ahead, absolutely lovely stuff. Hasn't quite been able to find the second, I say, just yet. There it is, jumps on up. Actually going to spot out a third. Going to put the smoke behind him as an exit plan, but is not going to be pushed. It's going to be the call to back away. Sapex found another one. 3 versus 2 now.
Yeah, there's a chance. One of the better positions Partizan have found themselves in, even though it's a man disadvantage. Vlad, and I think he spotted out Draken in towards the broken wall as well. Certainly has now, but oh wow. Draken just plucks him out the air. Fantastic kill coming through from him. Kendo has been able to progress forward up catwalk undetected, so at least he's gotten that kill on Draken, bringing it into a 1 versus 1. Not particularly keen to just try and cross onto the bomb side immediately either. He's going to be looking for a fight here, and he's going to be giving up the fight by Sapik. He's run out of ammo, though. Oh, no. You hear the ticks. You realize the magazine, the chamber, they're both empty. And Sapik, well, he can just finish off the job from there with ease.
That's heartbreaking, because the jump on out, you're like, surely, if there is a bullet in the chamber, that is a kill. But honestly, you gotta wonder, though, not noticing. It's one of those things in the heat at the moment, maybe you just forget, but it means that they have got Tech 9s to try defend this run in ESL Challenger League. It is dire.
Yeah, this is unfortunately as bad as it gets here for Partizan. It's just a really brutal way for their run to come to an end as well. I mean, they fought so hard to get to this point in the lower bracket. They won 4 series preceding this. It was Johnny Speeds who condemned them to that lower bracket, and it's Johnny Speeds who are going to eliminate from the competition. And it should just be a couple moments away here from happening as well. Sapik in the corner, going to get swung on by Nopsy. 1 frag back for him. Svedge ahead. Last player in on this B bomb side. He's got some support, but they don't expect him to be on top of the trash can. Trades again, the name of the game, but the man advantage will persist.
That it will. And how it is. Vladen last left alive. Oh, put it up a little bit of a fight. Lekro so close, trying to bait him on out. And there it is, through the smoke. Location given away. And a 13-1 decisive for them to continue. Johnny Speeds to continue in this tournament. And sometimes looking at that, you wonder, how did it even end up in a 3rd map?
I know, that's actually a pretty good question. Johnny Speeds, I mean, the maps that they won, they completely destroyed Partizan. You could say the same for Partizan with the map they won. I mean, let's think about how many rounds were won by the losing teams across the series. What, it was 13-5, 13-5, 13-1, so 11 rounds. Well, what, 5-5-1, right? I'm just saying across all the losing teams. 11 rounds won collectively across 3 maps just tells you how dominant all of the maps were today.
Exactly, and as you can see, the bracket has been updated. Alliance took the series 2-0 versus 0 Tenacity, which means Johnny Speeds will play Alliance for a spot in that lower bracket grand final. Winner of that, of course, will play in the grand final, and then winner will progress on to the regional division. So we are coming to a close here. We got our top 4 teams, and it is getting spicy.
Absolutely. Johnny Speed certainly looking like one of those teams that are keen to shake things up here in the lower bracket. What's happening in the other game that was running concurrently to this one might be worth just giving a bit of update. And in fact, we already have a result there. Alliance get the victory over 0 Tenacity. They make it easy as well. 13-7 on both maps. That means we got Alliance versus Johnny Speeds. It's a Swedish derby to see who's going to go through to that grand final.
That it is, but that is going to be it from us today. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you, of course, to the wonderful production team as well. It's been an absolute pleasure to cast with you guys, and we will see you guys very soon for some more ESL Challenger League Season 50.
The day is ours and we seize it. Haters, man, they got reasons. Grab the moment, we freezing. Go to the touch, all what a rush. Follow your heart, homie, go where the love. Let it rain, let it flow, let it flood. Swimming in good vibrations, it's a celebration. It's the liberation of everything we are. Every time you in the clouds, they gon' try to bring you down. Do not let them just go ahead and get it, get it, get it, get it. Every time you in the clouds, they gon' try.
Sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been tested so much, all these wrestlers nice. All these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of all my feet when I touch the ground. Front of 8 at Beijing, man, they know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. I'm faced with a lot of different choices these days. Do a rock and Rolex account of Blueface. The whole world know my name off a mixtape. I still got the same brother since 6th grade. G-Wagon, red seats, we on Biscayne. Trish